All right, guys. New Caleb Hammer, Sussy Bakatry, has released. I guess one of the people that went on to Caleb's financial audit, they went on 13 days ago, decided to expose him. There might be something there. I watched the Scott Schaefer video. I'll try to remember to link it in the description. My coverage of it. I didn't think it was particularly good. There was a little bit of reasonable criticism, but most of it was like very heavily dishonestly narrative driven. So you can go watch I'm not gonna qualify everything I said there. You can go watch the video if you care. If you don't care, don't watch that video. So I'm a little apprehensive because I understand that sometimes weird standards can be set of acceptability for disproportionate criticism for somebody. And I feel like Scott has set that. So some people might be like, oh, this is my opportunity to be like, hey, Caleb did this thing, which might, by the way, not be good, but I'm going to give it to you in a potentially dishonest way. I'm a little bit fatigued when it comes to some stuff. So that's how I'm coming into it. I'm always open-minded. Maybe there's something really big here. But anyway, this is her TikTok. It's my experience with Caleb Hammer. And then we'll probably watch Caleb's episode with her. And her nice pink hair. Looks very nice. Let's see. Okay, let's see what we got here.
I feel like I needed to make this video because I need to bring some points out to the public, especially with the fact that regarding financial audit with Caleb Hammer.
Yeah, Caleb Hammer? Absolutely.
This is getting to a point where I'm not playing anymore because...
Okay. Hey, what's up, girl? How you doing, brother?
This show, Caleb and his team...
You think you're in love. That's a beautiful thing, brother.
Are pushing out to the public that they are here helping, that their main goal, that the reason why his channel exists is to help people like me who aren't able to get easy access to people like him or channels like that.
And listen, we're going to watch the episode, so maybe she has a point. I don't know if I ever, I feel like Caleb's channel is, from what I've seen, he gives decent advice, but he does it in kind of like a clickbaity way. If you go and you look at the thumbnails on any video, you would see that he flares a little bit of it up in the title. And so, you would have kind of known that before you went on. So, I feel like, there's a thing where there's situations that people go into that are not ideal, but they know what they're getting into. And then they go and do the not ideal thing, knowing all the information. And then they go, this was not ideal. It's like, okay, yeah. Of course, we kind of, did we not know that already though? And I feel like that might be a little bit of that. A lot of these individuals are very financially unintelligent, and they seem to be. It seems like a lot of them can get out of their situation somewhat easily, but they refuse to because they're kind of entitled. But anyway, we're gonna watch the video after. But
who can be able to help them? This show is
it's like a charity case.
Exactly as one commenter said. Okay. They are under the guise of helping people when really they're out publicly shaming and humiliating people. And that's
yeah, a little bit. Yeah, part of it is to make you feel like it's like the Maury Show for financial advice, but probably a little better, in my opinion. Yeah, I feel like that. You'd have to have a significant impairment to not understand that before you even do it. So
exactly what is happening with me. And I'm not sitting here playing a victim. I'm just defending what's happening to me based off of the conversation and the intention that was brought to me for help. Okay, that I applied for. Okay. If I would have known, if I truly would have known that I would have been ridiculed and labeled such horrible, slandish things, crazy, outlandish.
By who? By Caleb or by commenters? Because again, I understand people can be mean, and I do think that content creators have a little bit of responsibility to call it out. Sometimes you can't do everything about it, but you should, if you have a toxic audience, then you should make a point to be like, hey guys, before we get into this, don't be toxic. And if Caleb isn't doing that, and it truly is a problem of how toxic his audience is, that would be my criticism. But outside of that, there's very little you can really do. Hey, happy birthday, Kat. Very good.
That he placed on that video. And to top it all off,
it's called I'm Not Surprised. The way that it's called I'm Not Surprised She's Single. Financial audit.
He portrayed.
Come on. Listen. my understanding, and he could be he says that he talks to people about the title and the thumbnails before he releases it. That might be true. That might not be true. He might be lying. But my thing is that like if you look at his catalog, okay, if you look at this guy's catalog, he's not exactly popping out. Like the one before that is Most Delusional Woman I've Ever Met. Then you got the Amaranth one, but then this one is Wimpiest Mama's Boy. Dude, what did you expect the title to be? Ignorant Wife Divorces Wimpy Cuck. $10,000 to fat shame losers. It's insane that she did this. I mean, these are all pretty clickbaity. So you're coming in. This one's wild. If you're coming in here and you're like, the title was kind of mean.
To me in the
yeah, we could see that. We if I was going to go on the show, I'd be like, this title's probably going to be kind of mean. Like, you know what? It's one of those things where like you know what you're getting into before you get into it. And then you're kind of complaining to us that it feels yucky. And I get it, but it's, you know, you kind of, you know, it doesn't take Long Island Medium to be able to predict this. All right. I don't know why Long Island Medium popped up in my brain, but it did. You know, so it doesn't take the most sophisticated intellect to figure out that the title's going to be pretty provocative and it's going to be pretty clickbaity. Not exactly the hottest take in the century. And it's like, at what point do you take responsibility for getting into a bad action? You know, he didn't force you to go on the show. You saying that you're desperate because your financial situation is bad, that sucks, but it's like that's on you, sister. You know, so
picture versus just any other. If you go through any other YouTube video in there, these women they don't have tattoos all over their faces.
Yes, they don't, but everything... What are you talking about? No, of course he doesn't do that same exact thing, but he still makes things that are, like, disfavorable, of course.
They weren't called trailer trash.
One of them was... yeah, they kind of are.
Is it because of the fact that I'm a mom of 5 kids?
I don't know. We'll watch the video.
You should be ashamed of yourself. You should seriously be ashamed of yourself. Your mom really needs to sit down and have a conversation with you. Damn. Because...
That's fucked up.
He has so...
Mommy Hammer, lay down the hammer on Caleb.
He has millions of subscribers, okay?
I think he has 1 million, but I get the point.
If you are the podcaster of the video, okay, and you in your mind frame think it's okay when you are speaking to somebody about their finances to make a comment about their sexuality or if they must love to be, you know... It's ridiculous. Like I guess we'll have to see in the video because I don't know what she's referring to. I am just because he felt he could make such an ugly comment. Okay. His entire comment base made that the focus of the video instead of my finances. Okay. It sounds like we'll see what they say in the video. So I'm sitting here having to see so many people. And I'm crying. Let's get this straight right now. Like I'm sure that the comments are upsetting to her, and I get that. But at the end of the day, again, like, you know, you kind of knew what you were getting into. You didn't 100% know clearly, but now you do. And just, you know, don't read the comments. It's kind of the way you got to go. This happens to so many people who don't have a voice. And while my feelings may be hurt, I'm a very strong individual. I'm a very strong person, and I can make it through anything. And people's judgments. That's good. Well, like, I hope you do better. This is where we're going with humanity right now. Okay, yeah. I'm a single female, and I am going on a show that promised help to talk about my finances. Okay. And I'm being sexually harassed in the video. Oh, that's a big claim. I guess we'll have to see what happens there. Caleb definitely made some nasty comments in that episode. It was disgusting, honestly. He toned it back the last couple of episodes. Okay. All right. Yeah, like I said, we're going to have to see. Maybe he pushed it too far. Maybe he got too comfortable. Maybe he's focusing too much on being provocative for clickbaity attention. Maybe it wasn't that good. Which allowed his viewers to make it okay. He made it okay to make them think it's okay to have that sort of okay that it was okay to come after me in that way. Okay. At the end of the day, maybe I should have watched the episode first, huh? But it is what it is. I don't appreciate being blasted in this way when my main point was to receive help, and that's what they told me they would give me. Okay. And when I got there, and after I signed the paperwork, Caleb came out, okay? Okay. He came out of whatever room he was in, and that's when it started.
The goon. We call it the goon room. Okay.
Started trying.
Caleb is a class 5 gooner. Let's be
to hook me up with his producer Noah, asking if I was interested in him.
Okay.
And it was just over the top. So it got really awkward. I just
interesting. I know that there have been people who have made the claim of like, oh, he like asks about OnlyFans and stuff. And my general take on it is like we're kind of at a spot now where, you know, well, first of all, the other guy, Zeke, was trying to do OnlyFans. I don't care. This is like, you can't really cry victim. Even like, oh, Caleb asked me if I wanted to do gay OnlyFans. Like, okay, you're talking about OnlyFans, whatever. But I've heard like that he seems to ask people about that type of content, which can be very. It's a tough thing to talk about because if you do it respectfully and professionally, there's no issue. But I could see how it would lead to an atmosphere of potentially being too, I will say, cavalier about talking about that type of stuff. So again, you know, there could be a criticism there. He might be going a little too far with his comfortability when it comes to the conversations about sex. We'll see, though.
Remember, I politely declined, and then he asked me right before filming, well, are you into girls? Like, do you want to date my other one? Like, I get it, but you don't talk about those kinds of things when you're in a business setting, when you're doing an interview and you're truly trying to help someone. This guy does not have his head on right.
Okay.
And people like me are being dragged through the mud over having children when that's not even supposed to be the focus point of the video.
Okay. How come she has 5 kids though? Like, what's going on with that? Did her husband die or something, or did she just make a very irresponsible choice?
This is just absurd to the point where I feel like I have to make a video about it, and I'm not somebody who makes videos about anything. I don't like putting my shit out there.
Okay.
I don't put anything out there. I'm a very private person.
You know, it's hard. It's hard to say that you're a very private person when like you go on to like the financial audit. I would say that you should take a responsibility for yourself in the capacity of like educating yourself on what you're about to get into. You could watch another episode and see what the tone is, and so giving her a tremendous amount of benefit of the doubt. She probably didn't do that, which is simply not smart. Doesn't mean that she deserves to be like harassed or anything, but you really should do your best to kind of go into your scenario with a bit of education on what, like when you have the availability to see what you're about to get into, you should probably take advantage of that availability. That's my advice.
So when I chose to interview in order to receive this help, I didn't know, and I wasn't aware, and nor was I told during any point in that time, hey, we're going to ridicule you pretty bad in the video. We're going to slut shame you. We're going to tell you like being fucked.
Jesus Christ. What the fuck?
You must really love getting fucked, don't you? That's what he told me in the video. Something along those lines, and it's up for you to see.
I'm going to go check that out. For sure.
What makes somebody think it's okay to speak to them in that manner? You have no idea of my history. You have no idea of anything that I've gone through. And this isn't about becoming a victim of this. This is just making people aware.
Just to be clear, her not acting perfectly and educating herself on what she's getting into doesn't completely absolve Caleb, potentially, of criticism.
That if we think it's okay to start speaking to people in this manner,
but we have to see the context.
It's okay to post things like this about people. Where are we headed? Where are we going right now?
Shit, I feel like we've already been there, girl. Things have not gotten worse. I feel like they're just getting, There's
no empathy whatsoever.
True that, sister.
I'm lost for words right now because I'm in a...
He made a brief joke after they talked about her finances fucking her. It was the context, but she's... Oh, okay. We have to see, because you know what? We have to see. We really have to see. It's another thing of like, she might be playing victim, but then also different people respond differently to different things. So if somebody had said that to me, like, you like getting fucked, don't you? Because you have 5 kids and you're fucked financially. I think it was funny. But for her, maybe it's not funny to her, especially if she's in a financial tough spot. So we got to see. We have to see Caleb's intention versus how it was received and all that other stuff.
Position where I can only make a video and put myself out there and let you know that this isn't a show that you want to be a part of. You're not going to receive any help.
I could have told you that after watching one episode. It's a little crazy.
You're just going to receive
especially since I'm not saving 20% of my income for the future, which I think I should start doing something like that, honestly. I've been talking about it more and more to my mom and my wife and stuff. Like, yeah, I really should like really start investing in my retirement. I have to figure out like what's a good like retirement fund to engage in. I don't want something I can't touch until I'm 65, but I want something with a decent yield. Like maybe it's like, oh, we take your money for 3 years or 5 years and you get like a certain yield potentially. But I gotta figure that out. I'm not good with that kind of stuff. I have to like go to a bank or something and figure that out. Because, you know, like maybe things fall out by 40 and I want to start, you know, I don't know. You know what I mean?
Dynamic where you are being told by this person and this group that we'd really love to help you. We'd really love to get you on. We'd really love to hear your story. You know, it is YouTube. We are a little dramatic. Caleb can be for the dramatics. But there's nothing that we won't post that you're not comfortable with. Or
did they say that, or is she assuming that they would say that?
We dramatic. No, it is love to hear your story. We'd really love that. We'd really group that we'd really love this person and these old dynamics. This dynamic where you are.
I'm not understanding.
Receive any help. You're just gonna receive.
Oh, she wanted them to be more transparent. Okay, whatever.
A little dramatic. Caleb can be for the dramatics. But there's nothing that we won't post that you're not comfortable with. Or as soon as I got out of that building and we stopped filming, the nice communication stopped.
I mean, I would imagine that communication in general stopped, or just the nice
communication stopped, period.
Oh, well, yeah, of course the communication is going to stop.
Never got permission for any video thumbnail to be okay. In that light.
And I don't think that he needs to get permission for thumbnails like that, because again, you know what you're getting into. But from my understanding, he said that he gets permission from people, so like you shouldn't tell people that you're getting permission if you're not. That's my criticism.
I never saw any thumbnail video. I never saw any video, period. I never saw a title. We never sat down and talked about what the title would be. So he's telling all of his millions of subscribers this, okay? And this is not the case.
Okay.
It is very vague. And often, honestly, it's rushed. It's rushed. I mean, the second that the filming was over, he said, hey, give me your Cash App. Gave him my Cash App. Okay. He paid me the flat rate that is paid to everybody for going to interview.
Oh, that's good. I mean, I feel like that's the most important part. So he's paying you guys, and he's promising to pay, and he's paying.
And do the video for our time, you know, whatnot. And boom, he was gone.
That makes sense to me. I mean, what is he going to become your friend afterwards? If anything, like I can appreciate that. Like, yeah, after we finish, like he doesn't really talk to me anymore. That is a professional boundary that by itself, I don't really see it as a particularly bad thing. That's a very pretty stern professional boundary of like, once we're done talking, once the video's over, we're done talking. That's pretty much it. We're not going to make it to the ship on time. 5, 4, 3. We made it.
Said they would be in touch. They haven't been in touch. You know, all those things in the video that he spoke about, like the resources, like we're going to get you, we're going to stand here and be with you and support you. Right after the show, we're going to get you, you know, somebody to talk to fix this situation and this situation. That stuff doesn't happen. Okay. This is all for views for him. Thanks. He is upkeeping a facade. Okay. He doesn't really, truly care about helping people.
Okay.
He wants to take their situation and he wants to spin it into the way he wants it. And then he posts what he likes. He made a lie the focal point of the entire video. During the entire process, when Noah was speaking to me, he said, hey, by the way, is there anything, you know, you can share with us that might be a little, you know, audience grabbing or just, you know, it's YouTube.
Wow. Kind of an abrupt ending there. Is there more here from her? Or is that everything?
Look at this stuff. Isn't it neat? Wouldn't you think my collection's complete? Only you and me will know.
Hey, what she look like?
Okay, interesting. That was the follow-up video. That's the bit that we missed. Okay, let's see the full video. Let's see what we got here. Let's see how bad this is.
Really good coffee. So. McDonald's has really good coffee. So. McDonald's has good coffee.
You're f***ing with me, right?
I don't have a coffee maker, so.
4 of these McDonald's trips is the Mr. Coffee maker from Target or Walmart. McDonald's coffee is more important than your kid's future?
Because
Kind of based. Caffeine addiction is real, guys. Have you ever watched Saved by the Bell?
I work more. I got my food stamps taken. I'll trade cash for them to
That's rough. Getting your food stamps taken away because you started to work more. That's a real problem. Like, that's unfortunate.
help me get more. Hi, my name is Zoe. I'm 32 years old.
But how does selling food stamps help remedy that situation? Why don't you just pay for the food? I mean, you should be buying that much food anyway.
I'm from San Antonio,
We'll see what
Texas,
happens.
and this is Financial Audit.
Thanks for coming up from San Antonio.
He said, "Come."
Honestly, not sure how you. We are going to give you. We give everyone a flat reimbursement for being here, but not sure how you afforded to get up here because you're just taking out payday loans every second of your life.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But okay.
Taking out payday loans? Okay, that doesn't sound very good.
What do you do in San Antonio for a living?
I work at Amazon.
Oh, doing what?
I'm a fulfillment operations. So I just kind of manage and help with fulfilling orders for customers.
All right.
Cool.
How well does she do there? My understanding is Amazon could pay better.
How much do you make?
I make $20.75.
That's I don't know if that's a lot of money. You know, when I was working it sounds, I'm older, so like when you're like, oh, I made $20 an hour. Oh, that's not too bad. That's like how much I was making on my bus company. I was making a little more than that, and I was still struggling. So, yeah, I don't know. That's pretty rough, man. To live on $20 an hour. I feel like, especially in this is rough, man.
With my shift differential.
And how many hours?
I guess she's working overnight.
It's realistically 33, but sometimes I do 36.
That's rough. Does she have a second income?
Okay.
It sucks because, like, you know, obviously things could be better landscape wise, but at the same time, like, you can only control what you control now, so you got to do your best to do your best, you know.
Okay. Why not 40?
Because I'm a single parent, and I don't really have any other help for I have 5 kids, so I kind of have to manage working overnights and then
being there for your kids. Yeah, that makes sense to me.
I also have to shorten that. Like, I get out at 6 in order to, get them to school and stuff. So.
Okay.
Get out at 6. You work overnight?
Overnights, yes.
Yeah, that's why she said a differential.
Ooh, what time do you go in?
6:30.
So 12 hours?
Mm-hmm.
Would you do like 3-day shifts or 3 shifts a week or whatever?
Well,
but only a couple days a week then?
Yes. So it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
So why not do more days then?
Because of the shift rotations that you get, like you kind of have to pick. And so
I would imagine that they're trying not to get anybody over 40 hours a week. So she probably, if she's working 12-hour days, she's probably working 11-hour days because they're giving her an hour worth of lunch maybe, or 11 and a half. So they're not going to give her more than 4 days because they're not going to let her do overtime.
Right now, the reason why I did Thursday, Friday, Saturdays was because I originally was doing school, but I finished my associate's degree in psychology.
Very good. I don't know what you can get with a sociology. I don't know what you can get with a associates in psychology, but that's still good.
What are you gonna do with that?
I've been on a pause for about a year. I haven't really.
Okay.
What did you want to do with that?
I don't think I want to pursue it anymore because I realized that there's not really. I mean, there's a vast majority of options, and
that's why I like certifications to things like Corn Careers, because it at least gives you, like, you put your toe in the water, you see if you like it or not. But that's okay. But it is education. You can use that to leverage new jobs.
But I am thinking of going back.
Do you know what you want to do this time?
How old did she say she was? Because it's a tough position to be. I mean, she's older regardless. It's a tough position to be in when you're older and don't know what you want to do exactly. I've been there too. Like when I was 29, I went back to school for computer science because, you know, computer degrees are pretty good. And then I got lucky to do TikTok, you know. But
either a realtor degree or just put more into going.
A realtor degree? What is that?
Well, it's.
You mean a license?
Pretty much, yeah.
So okay, well that's.
Well, because I was planning on paying out of pocket for it, and doing one of the schools local.
How does she have the money to pay out of pocket? Is like my question. Oh, dude, I really died here. Fuck me, man. I was doing so well.
Yeah.
Because I do prefer in-person learning, especially when I'm going for something like that, but. Yeah, you see the predicament I'm in right now, so I don't know if I can afford that right away. So my, I guess, second option would be, okay, can I just go back and do that as a degree first, and then,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get more into that. Let's get to just financial baseline, buddy. Okay, single.
A little standoffish. I feel like he could be a little more empathetic in the way that he talks to her, especially as a single mom.
Yes.
Single mom, 5 kids. I get. Okay, that's a lot. I mean, I've never been there, so I technically don't get it, people will say.
Well, yeah, probably not. Okay.
But I do understand it mathematically. Difficult. But you are borrowing to pay off your last borrowing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
that you
pretty
borrowed
bad.
before your paycheck. It's an endless cycle.
Sure, yeah.
But also at the same time, instead of trying to catch up, you're spending stupid.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't get it. What is going on? Give us a little rundown.
Let's hear what the stupid spending is. Let's see what we got here.
What is going on?
So I guess I kind of ignored a lot of the, I don't know, it was just kind of like, well, I guess I'll make it up. I can make it up with some extra cash. And it always ends up having me fall behind.
How long have you been saying that? I'll make it up.
A while.
I feel like a lot of people are stuck in that cycle of like, oh, okay. It's like constantly justifying things. One of the problems is like, you get off a long day of work and then you come home and then like you have a bunch of kids. So you got to take care of your kids and you're tired and you're frustrated and you're exhausted. And then saying, I could do this today. I can go get food out today. I don't really want to cook today. It becomes like an easier cycle, because it's tough. People are putting under a lot of burden. So
what's
probably,
thank you for the $2 from Taco Boy 2022 or 2002. Watching your streams at 2 a.m. from Texas. Very cool, brother. Very cool.
Probably like 2 months, 3 months now.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's not like when I'm thinking a while. That's not as long as I would think. So what started us down that spiral?
So I believe it was just kind of like my rent went up, the cost of living went up, and that just kind of hit me. And I honestly, I also feel like I put myself in a position where when I was married before, I wasn't allowed to work or do anything like that. I pretty much had to be a stay-at-home mom.
Why?
Okay. Well, I imagine that was like whatever their dynamic was, and that's like frustrating. So it sounds like she got married to a guy, and he was like, "I want you to be a stay-at-home mom," and she's like, "Okay, I'll put my life on hold," because when you get married, you generally the idea is to get married for a long time. I don't know if you guys know that, and that might have not been a great option for her. And now all of a sudden, she might be in a situation where she's like, I was married for this many years, I didn't do anything, I lost a lot of progress. And now I don't really know what I want to do with myself because I kind of got married and I thought that this was going to be it. And I, made my entire life strategy around like being with that person, my life plan. I get that. That can be frustrating.
He didn't want me to work. He was a military person.
Oh shit, he was abusive.
He was in the military and that was just kind of his.
Well, I don't think him being in the military has anything to do with that.
It was.
Yeah, so that's like, here's one of those things. It's Caleb is a little disconnected from the understanding of like, I understand as a man, as a bit of a traditional man, not fully. I understand men that are like, I don't want my wife to work. I get it. And I also understand what kind of a precarious situation that can put women into and how that puts their life on hold. Again, if they get divorced, it kind of fucks you. It throws a wrench into that. So I feel like, disregarding that to that degree is a little, it's ignorant. It's ignorant. He doesn't seem to get it.
It was complicated because it was definitely a lot of arguments like with working.
For
so
sure.
I felt like I never got to
How long ago was that?
This was about 7 years ago, but
that's okay.
It's definitely some time, but I feel like that impacted me as a person and being afraid to work, honestly.
Okay. Interesting.
I can't explain it other than
I can kind of get it. Like I made a joke about people in the military being abusive. Not all of them are, but I would say probably more than people not in the military. I'll just be honest there. So I can see how that would, I don't know the specifics, but I could completely understand her having some kind of anxiety. I kind of get it, but okay.
Because I was in that cycle for like 7 years. When I came out of it and I was completely relying on him.
Afraid to work?
Yeah.
Okay. Where does the fear come from? From like
I honestly wouldn't even ask the question. It sounds like it comes from him. I don't know.
Like his anger around it, or I'm confused on the fear to work part.
Well, when I was there, I kind of it would always cause arguments or fights because I did attempt to work sometimes, but it was.
Well, sounds like you should have left.
Unless he's lying, but.
And then did you?
Yeah, it does sound like you should leave him. It sounds like this guy might legitimately be abusive. So saying you should have just left him, especially if they have kids together, it's a very easy thing to say. We're not talking about fucking Wilbur Suit here, guys. You know what I mean? The guys, we're talking about like a legitimate, like, married with kids type of a scenario. This is a little bit more intense than that.
Oh, okay, that was correct. So what is the fear to work like these last few years?
Because I'm sure it was much more difficult to just leave the guy than, I'll just leave,
I guess because I didn't have anything under me. I didn't have my degree. I didn't have anything at that point. So I felt like inadequate, maybe, that I just wasn't going to be good enough to work.
Okay.
So at that point, I'm starting at square one with my education and continuing, and I felt like that was going to give me the go to make more money. But here I am now in this hole, and I have student debt, and that's why I kind of want to go back to school too, so I can.
Do you know what? Again, we will get back to that. All your kids live with you?
Yes.
It sounds like she wants to better herself. You got to give her credit for that.
Yeah. So there should be child support coming in, right?
Yes.
So what does that add to your income?
$1,000 a month is pretty much. I've been fighting, and I got approved for a child support increase like 3 years ago when COVID hit.
Yeah.
And since then, I was approved by the state, but he lives in another state. He placed the divorce order in another state, and it's become impossible for him to voluntarily agree to give Texas jurisdiction. He won't do it.
Gotcha. So she would have to maybe sue in a different state or something. That sucks, and that sounds complicated. So she's only getting $1,000 a month from him, which is nothing. Like I think on average a kid costs $17,000 a year per kid, so he's paying pretty much nothing.
He's purposely not doing it so that I can't get.
How many of the kids are his? Did they establish that all of them are his?
The actual income I need for the children. So I'm being put in a position where, you know, and I have 2 smaller children that aren't school age yet, you know, so I have to be.
Did we get a breakdown of like whose kids are what, or no?
Be there during the day because I can't.
He was the father of all 5.
He's the father of 2.
And
the 2 oldest.
What about the others then? There should be child support.
Okay.
My son, he does get sporadic child support payments. It's like 100 to
what was court ordered
per month, like $370 a month.
Okay.
I don't receive all of that.
Okay. So why haven't you done anything about
it? Jesus Christ, this episode is not good for Caleb. He looks extraordinarily out of touch here. He's so far, and that doesn't mean that she's completely like exempt from criticism, but he is extraordinarily out of touch here. Like the questions aren't. This is the thing. It's the questions aren't bad. Asking like, okay, so like, have you? But it's so accusatory. You know, right now what I'm hearing is that these men are not being men, and they're not actually paying the child support that they should be paying to take care of their kids. So when you ask a question like, you know. The question, he's asking it like, well, why haven't you done anything about it? It's like, well, why don't you ask like, hey, have you tried doing something about it? Given the circumstance, again, is she acting perfectly? Of course not. No. But there's there could be an empathy factor there that would be positive. And I wonder, because I've blown up really quickly before, and you get a little bit full of yourself, and sometimes you get a little too content brained. And, you know, maybe I'm being too charitable to Caleb, but I think that maybe that's where that's coming from. You know, you're looking. It sounds like Caleb's gotten big talking to these people and then cornering himself and losing games. Talking to these individuals and then them saying some dumbass shit and then people making fun of them because they're stupid, which is fine. And so now I wonder, and this isn't, you know, this is something that he would have to consider for himself. I wonder if he's really locked into like that search for the idiot. You know, oh, I need to find this idiot, and if I can't find them, I'm gonna make one. You know, it's like when you're looking for true love, or when you're looking for love, you'll find it, but it may not be the purest form of it, right? It's like one of those things, and it's like I'm looking for this, because so far from what we've gotten, I don't think that the tone is deserved. It seems a little disproportionate. I think you should feel like a little more sympathy for this woman. That's me personally. So I'm feeling like the tone is a little off. It's a little off. I wish she would like. Take a deep breath and try not to find the fool so quickly. Thank you for the $7 Canadian from Kayla. I started watching Kayla when he was around 40K followers. He had to stop recently because it devolved into financial Jerry Springer exhausting. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think he might be a little too involved in the performative nature of finding the fool. And it's not a bad thing necessarily to like, you know, poke fun at somebody who's being foolish, but you know, you gotta have a better finger on the barometer for that, you know.
I have actually. I message them every.
Who's them?
Child support.
Okay.
So what we have to do is pretty much chat. We can't really get connected any other way. My next step though is to see if I can go into the office to get some action, because you know, it's a really slow, complicated process, and I know it's something I can't rely on. So now I'm realizing that, and I'm putting myself in this position where I'm gonna, you know, I have to find another job. So
I believe there are 2 other children unaccounted for.
Right. I don't get child support for both of them.
Why?
The youngest, she's about to be 2 in June on
the youngest. Okay, interesting. So the military guy wasn't the last guy.
24th.
Jeez.
Her dad is completely evading. I mean, they've tried locating him like 4 times.
So
and he's a chameleon.
A very important aspect.
Here's my thing. Okay. We've all been in situations, I think, where we've been treated. I'm going to literally die here. We've all been in situations where we have been treated less than perfectly by other people. Right. And it sucks and it's unfortunate and it's rough. But there's something to be considered about the concept of like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. If you have a habit of getting into relationships with bad people that exhibit the same red flags, and it seems like she has the habit of finding men who aren't real men who continuously shirk responsibility for things, a level of that is on you to figure out moving forward how to be better, how to find a better partner. And to at least acknowledge those red flags, because it's not good that you've gotten 3 different partners, or possibly even more different partners that all you're together. You seem to try to make a legitimate relationship. It sounds like she's engaged in like serial monogamy, and then it doesn't work out, and then they don't pay child support because they're not good people. And if that's continuously happening to you, again, that doesn't mean that they're good people. It's not all her fault, but it's like for yourself, you're the only one that can control, you're the only person that you can trust. Okay, 100%. Let's be real. I'm gonna die right there. There has to be a level of like, I have to be more perceptive. I have to put my guard up. Like my mother, she married a guy. She got pregnant. They had, she had me 5 months pregnant. And he left her, and my mom went a little extreme and never dated again. That might be a little much, but it was probably better to never work again and devote all of your energy into your kid rather than to like find love. And that sucks because a lot of people are very love driven. They want to love like a partner. They want to be loved. They want that sense of affirmation. It was easier for my mom in the sense because we had very strong family ties. But like, these are the things you really want to be aware of.
Aspect of paying down your debt is cutting those monthly expenses wherever you can. And this includes your phone bill. I've been using Helium Mobile for a month now, and it's been nothing but amazing. It's just $20, and it already has unlimited data, texts, and calls. Plus, the coverage is great.
Should I spend $200 a month on my phone? But I write it off, so it doesn't matter.
Since switching to Helium Mobile, I'm on track to save
not all of it, but
up to $500 this year alone. My family and friends who once spent around $100 a month on their phone bills are now set to save even more than me.
Shit. This might be a good idea. I mean, if you can save like $80 a month on a phone, why not?
Per year. So it's a no-brainer. And I just found out with my phone right here with Helium Mobile and everything that you can earn mobile tokens that pay for your phone bill. All right, let's take a look. I'm going to the
How do you earn the token, bro?
Helium Mobile app.
Fuck me,
and in here, you can see mapping. So this is the...
All right, I get it. Helium Mobile. Let's move on to this. Let's move on, Caleb. I understand.
The data, texts, and calls for your first try. Just use my promo code Caleb in the link in the description below.
All right, guys. Check it out if you're interested.
I don't think you have the best pick in men.
I do not.
That's true.
Okay.
I do not.
And the problem is he's right. Like a lot of things, Caleb is not saying anything that's wrong. It's just the way that he's saying it is very standoffish. And there should be a little bit more empathy when he talks about these topics. Like he seems to lack, we'll call it customer service. Like he lacks that a little bit.
That's why I'm single.
Yeah.
That's good. She should probably stay single. And that's not trying to be insulting, but like, like I said, like that might be the best option for you for right now. Prioritize your kids, do the best that you can,
Okay. And have you talked to a lawyer about any of this? See if there's any pro bonos out there for single moms.
No, actually, I really haven't. I haven't done any of that route because
He was about to hit her with the Reba. Single mom who works 2 jobs. I'm pretty sure she doesn't. Loves her kids. Never stops. Give it to her, Caleb.
Did do the research like 2 years ago when I did, after the year passed and the child support was still waiting to be, because I have a hearing that's set. Just waiting for him to voluntarily give time.
Yeah, and part of her might be exhausted with dealing with lawyer stuff over and over again, and that's understanding to be like fatigued by that. But at the same time, like, yeah, you should try your best to try your best. You know what I mean? Like life can be extraordinarily exhausting. It's easy for me to be like, oh, do better because my life is not very exhausting right now. I've been there. I understand that though. So I get it. It can be hard to work perfectly. It can be hard when you don't have a moment to yourself. I'm working. I'm doing my kids. Okay, I have a moment to myself. I got to call lawyers. It can be tough, but sometimes you just got to push through. You got to really push through, and try your best.
Texas permission to take over the case. And
okay, to be clear, I have a little bit of sympathy. The sympathy starts to go away when I start looking at that checking account. And that checking account is one of the more wild things I have viewed.
Okay, let's see how bad it is.
We go through the debts before we get to the checking accounts.
Okay.
Maybe it's bad. Maybe he knows something we don't know.
This was wild. So you told us because of the tax return that was meant to be coming in, you hadn't received it yet. So then you went to paydayed yourself.
Okay.
$1,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
Relying on a tax return is no way to live.
It's normal. Okay.
That's already.
I honestly,
I can kind of understand it. What is it that I don't really see? My thing is I'm less concerned with the spending, and I'm more concerned with what she's spending it on. Are they necessary expenses? You know,
I just, I needed new things for my house. My kids, were constantly asking me for things.
Well, I don't give it.
I felt like I was.
We could probably be a little nicer. Like you have to, if you can't afford things, you have to set that standard with your kids. Like, hey, listen, we can't afford this. If you really can't afford it,
It's obligated to just provide it right then and there.
Why?
So, I wasn't being patient. I wasn't waiting for.
No. Why do you feel obligated to give the things that they're begging?
Well, that's a fair thing for her to say. I wasn't being patient. That's her admitting fault. I think that's reasonable.
For.
Well, she's her mother, so
easier said as a single dude with no kids, but also it is this basic, like
You're
stuff.
right. I mean, it's getting to the point though where I feel like I overdo it sometimes. I overgive, and I need to put a boundary and say no, because
the boundary is probably when you don't have money and you don't have money. So.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like she knows what she needs to do. I give her credit for that. I would.
Yeah, you're right.
What were you giving them?
Just things that they'd been asking for over time.
Okay, it's probably things like
Roblox.
Okay, there it is.
Toys.
Yep.
Yeah. Listen. Caleb's being such a dick. I think that it's understandable, and she shouldn't be doing it. It's the unfairness of life of when you don't have money, you can't spend money, right? It's unfortunate. But I understand the desire to want to make your kids happy. Because, like, where does it come from? I got my kid Roblox. I got my kid that. Where does it come from? She wants to make her kid happy. Is it ideal? No. Should she be doing it? No. But is she going out and buying heroin on the street? Hopefully not. I mean, maybe. We might find that out. We might find out she's going out there and getting heroin. Now that's a problem. But so far, I understand.
Food, definitely food.
What do you mean?
Eating out is something that they really like. So
okay, what are the ranges? What are the ages of the kids? Let me get the ages. So, youngest, oldest.
Okay, so my daughter is 1.5. My son is 3, and then I have 3 other daughters. They're 8.
Damn, all daughters, crazy.
12 and 14.
This is a.
All right, so a couple of them are old enough to work in the mines. Get them in the mines. Get them in the mines.
Estrogen-filled household, isn't it?
Yes, 4 girls, 1 boy.
What's the living situation currently?
So it's me and my kids, and then my mom lives with us.
I was going to ask, like, do you have like other people that you can live with? For sure. Like, mom should be stepping in. Everybody should be stepping in. People should step in when they can. If you can, you should be. I already raised my kid. I don't want to raise her kid too. Fuck you. Help raise your kid. Unless your child's a real piece of shit. Help life. When you have a kid, it's forever. So you help out.
3.
Okay, and your mom?
Yes.
For why?
I imagine she helps. She probably babysits. But here's the thing. If your mom's helping to babysit, I do question, like, how come you can't work a little bit more? If she's there to babysit. What is she doing, though?
She's disabled. She's on a walker, so she kind of needs a little extra assistance.
Okay. So she's taking care of her mom. Damn. That's brutal.
So I'm pretty much the one that helps out the most. Unless I'm working, then my 14-year-old will take over and help. Yeah.
Okay.
That's kind of the reason, too, why I kind of buy them a lot of things that I can't afford, because
she feels guilty for them having to help raise her other kids. I understand that, and help with her mother. I understand that. But again, like, it's not ideal.
They do a lot most of the time to help in the household, and so
hard as hell.
I feel like in that aspect it gives back to them, but really it's not, because it's hurting us. So
okay, straight up, I just want to know from your point of view.
I think she would have been better talking to a psychiatrist about this or something. Somebody a little bit more emotionally available. Or Caleb needs to operate a little better when it comes to, like, these difficult conversations with people. A lot of these other people seem to be, like, entitled. From the couple of things I've seen, he's talking to, like, these entitled losers, like Zeke. That guy's like an entitled loser. So I understand demeaning that person, because you're a 19-year-old with 0 responsibilities, desperately trying to be a Twitch streamer, and you're putting no effort into your shit. I understand that. But we're talking about, and I don't remember the age of this woman. Somebody can tell me, hopefully. We're talking about a woman that I'm assuming is middle-aged woman, maybe in her 30s. And she seems to be trying so far. Her worst quality is that she's trying to spoil her kids. And I you can't, but I understand.
Why do you think you spend money on the wants they are requesting when you do not have any money?
It makes me feel good.
She's 32. Okay.
On them.
It's a very honest answer. It makes me feel good to spend money on them. Is a very honest answer. I'll give her that. I mean, I like spending money on my wife. I understand. That's it's honest. That's one thing I appreciate. She's being honest. It sounds like.
Makes me feel like I'm a provider.
That's fair.
You're delaying a lot of good things and potentially putting harm on them. The harm you're putting on them. Answer me this: how much do we have in retirement?
Probably, probably nothing.
Oops. So what happens in that situation is that now they are going to feel morally responsible to take care of you when you're dying on the Walmart floor because you never saved up enough money.
Okay, I don't care about this. This is something that Caleb talks about a lot. I don't care. I don't care that you might have to raise your mother or help. If your mother took care of you for the first 20 years of your life, you can help her in her last 20 years of her life. Or their life. I don't really care about this. Life isn't ideal. I don't care about the money she's saving for retirement. I do care about her spending disproportionately, and if she has money to save for retirement, you should do that. But I don't really care about the money that could be saved for retirement as much as I care for hey, if you're trimming down as much as you can humanly possibly trim down, that's more important to me than are you saving for retirement? Because some people don't get to save for retirement. It's just a reality of the world. And I would say, again, like I said, trim down as much as you can. But if she's trimmed down as much as she can within reason and she still can't save for retirement, it is what it is. Life is brutal. So
at any point, because you never put your responsibility first and, put the foot down and said no.
Well, she is. Her responsibility is her kids. So their emotions matter too. Again, I agree that she's acting irresponsibly, but
I think now that's why I'm kind of becoming aware of the situation and seeing how bad it is and how I can be negative $400 and not have anything. Those are the moments where I'm like, holy shit, I need to get my stuff together because I don't want my kids taking care of me.
Not only that, but you're not paying for their college. So.
I would say I'm looking in here and maybe I'm missing it, but I think that this is an example so far of maybe somebody he could have maybe set up a Cash App for or something or whatever it's called or.
Yeah.
Not a single chance in this world right now with the way you're doing it because you're putting their little Mickey D's over actually.
These nuts. McDonald's is expensive now, bro.
Having positive money.
Yeah.
Positive money. And I'm not going to shame someone for wanting to be nice. That is not it. We are in a position where you are choosing that good feeling, that feeling of good that you said you get by giving.
Yeah.
Over what you actually need to do.
At least she has a feeling of good giving to her kids.
To be a responsible adult, but also a responsible parent. This thing's insane.
Okay, let's see.
Tell me why you needed to borrow this at 159.57%.
Wow. Jesus Christ. What did she need to borrow that for?
You borrowed $900, but you're having to pay back a total of $1,574.80. What did you borrow for this for? Oh, come on. Really don't even remember that? That's insanity. Which one is this? Which one is that? That's the insane one.
That is a little insane. What the fuck?
Oh, yeah. This one was definitely... I saw the APR afterwards and I was like, holy crap.
Yeah, you got to look at that first. My understanding about how APR works, which is something I didn't figure out till I was a little older, is that you have to pay APR. My understanding is basically, let's say you take out a $10,000 loan and you have an APR, an annual percentage, whatever, APR, annual percentage of whatever. It's your fucking interest. I'm pretty sure that's how interest works. Is that it's a 10% interest on $1,000. Every year you have to pay 10% of the remaining balance over the course of the 12 months. So if it's $10,000 you have left, you have to pay every month 1/12 of $1,000. And then if you get that $1,000 down to $500, you now have to pay 10% of the $500. That's my understanding of how APR works. It's pretty high. You don't really want your annual percentage rate is a yearly interest rate plus any additional fees, charges, and loan investment. Yes, that's my understanding of how that works. You definitely don't want to take something out that's super high.
Where did you even go get this? Where'd you get this?
I think it was Op Loans.
You walked into a place.
It was online. It was all done online.
Jesus
so I think in that moment, I was desperate.
Yeah, what made her desperate? If she was like, I had a bill that was it was really immediate, and if I didn't pay it, I was fucked. I'd be like, okay, what does she need for though?
Happening though, I want to know what was happening in your life.
Sorry to watch a bunch of your content since Ethan's having a baby. He's gonna have a field day with Fresh and Fit. Yeah, he is. I forgot Ethan was on vacation. That's why I'm doing so well. Fuck, Ethan, quit. I get a little bit of those views. You know what I mean? A little bit of that crossover.
That you went to meandruinmylife.com and
I want to know what it's for.
Applied to everything possible.
I was in that me ruin my life kind of mindset at that time.
So. She's in the what of her life?
I was in that me ruin my life kind of.
Oh, fuck me in my life. Okay, I kind of get that. That's a very honest answer. She was in that moment of her life where she's like, I just don't care anymore. Like, listen, man, anger and frustration, these things narrow your field of view, and they make the most immediate thing in front of you the most, in your perception, the most necessary. So when you're feeling like fuck it, you're probably angry, you're very one-track minded, you need money, you're going to get money, and you're not going to be logical. This is the problem when people have financial stressors. They become stupid. That's one of the problems. Like, unironically, just being poor makes you dumb. Regardless of education level, because you become so, your field of view narrows to like the most immediate thing in your brain. And so that's where this comes from. It's not right. She needs to have better moderation of this, but it's something that should be understood.
Mindset at that time. So,
and we know you have 5 children, so this is the wrong kind, though.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it just seemed like an offhanded, like silly little joke comment. I don't think that I wouldn't consider that sexually harassing.
I'm humorous,
and even acknowledges that he's being a little stupid. So.
What was the situation? A rent payment was coming, you couldn't pay. Food was happening.
Or I think that's what it was. Yeah, I felt because.
Or, spoiler alert to the checking account, was it we wanted to feel good. We wanted to feel good, but we did not have money to go feel good.
All right, Caleb, relax.
See, so
his energy's too high.
Sometimes too, like, okay, so I give my mom a lot of, like, she'll ask me here and there for money. Yeah. And a lot of the times, like, because I can check her account and see, and she has money in there. And I
kill your mom, take her money.
Sometimes feel like she does it just to feel okay about money being in there. So I feel like I learned that same thing. Like, if I don't have much money in there, that I should get more money to put in there, so that way I can feel okay about having money.
Interesting. Okay. She seems very introspective. I wonder why she's even here in the first place if she kind of knows herself.
Interest charge. The interest charge is ruining you. Ruining you. They're taking an extra $800 or whatever.
Yeah,
it's crazy. Or you borrowed $800, they're taking an extra $650. Something insane. That is putting your children's future at risk.
True. That is true.
And depending where the money's going, again, I feel a little. Everyone right now is probably feeling a lot of sympathy.
I think that you should, because this person seems very honest. They just are making a lot of bad decisions. But as somebody who I could never understand her situation fully, but I can understand it enough to be like, yeah, I get it. I understand where you're coming from. Like, we've all been. I feel like, we've all been there a little bit. I've never been here. I hope I'm never are here. This seems like a very tough situation. She seems to be somebody who probably gives too much, trusts too much, gets with people who are extraordinary red flags, loves them, marries them, doesn't work out. She's a little, I hate to say it, she should probably be a little bit more jaded by life. I know it's a horrible thing to say, but, I get it. And
they should, based on the conversation that's happened. What they don't know is what's remaining in here. And I'm having a hard time feeling sympathy because your spending is insane. Insane.
Okay.
But either way, you should give her some love because she was brave enough to come on here and get help, put her situation on display.
Well, that's nice of him to say.
I'm the Caleb Springer. We get to do the wild thumbnails, but support the guest in the comments.
Okay.
What would you give yourself, by the way?
It sounds like he's trying to tell people not to be too toxic. It sounds like Caleb is. That sounded to me like Caleb is trying to tell people to not be too toxic. Okay.
What's your financial score, 0 to 10?
I would probably give myself a -1.
Okay, well, that's not really possible unless I hate you, and I don't hate you. So, but if you want your Hammer financial score, it's free in the description below. So then we have.
I'm definitely not at the place where I want to be at 32.
Of course not. Absolutely.
Yeah. This is definitely woken me up because while it feels good in the moment to be spending, then I put myself in these positions and I get desperate.
I wonder, because she seems like she kind of knows what's going on with herself. I wonder, I feel like the only reason she's here is to collect a little bit of like a payday. Which, by the way, I'm not even criticizing. I get it. But it sounds like she's just like, oh, let me collect a little bit of money. Like, I might as well. If he paid her whatever the flat rate is, it's probably help her get out of her situation. So
desperate. And then I'm pulling out loans that I can't afford. So
yeah, you're pulling out loans you can't afford, and you need to start telling dudes to pull out as well.
Okay. I was thinking the joke, but it's like, you're with her, man. You come. I don't know. You're leaning a little too much into it. I would have a little bit more sympathy for this woman, you know? I think that here's the thing. Every time you do anything ever where people are watching, you're always going to get some kind of a feedback. It doesn't mean that you're going to get well, maybe not feedback is the word, but no, feedback will be had whether you hear it or not. So when you have a guest on like this who is clearly irresponsible, but she seems well-intentioned, well-meaning. So far, the shitty way that she's spending is because she loves her kids. If you don't have a lot of empathy for her, you're going to pull in the people who don't have empathy for people in these situations, and you're going to push away people who do have empathy. And you're going to devolve your audience additionally into lacking that fundamental empathy, and continuous patterns of warding off empathy is going to generate you an audience of not particularly great people that are going to continue to shape your content, right? In a way where it's slow, but it's every video, it's a little more and a little more until you're left with a community of people who are just kind of assholes. And part of it's because you let it happen, because a lot of people are malleable enough where it's like, if you're a little nice, they're like, oh, I can identify with that. But if you're a little mean, they feel empowered to also be a little bit mean, right? So there's a lot of complicated, metrics working out here. The point I'm making is, like, I don't think it's a good idea to set the stage of being this toxic to her. Yeah, and I don't think it would hurt his content to be a little bit nicer in these moments. I'm not saying be nice to fucking the Zeeks of the world. I'm saying be nice to this woman a little nicer. I don't think would be bad. But again, I understand what it's like to be a little bit locked into, we'll call it sussy baka mode. But your audience is a reflection of you, and then you're a reflection of your audience. It's a very back and forth give and take, and it can be a lot going on there.
Ha! Woo! Getting it today. I'm just laying them down, aren't I? All right. With it basically says Saintinder.
I would say the same thing.
No. Okay. This one, oh my gosh. Oh! Is this for a car?
Yeah. My car.
Well, I imagine she might need a car with 5 kids and a job. So I wonder what's the issue here.
What's the car?
It's a 2023 Mitsubishi Outlander. I need the third row.
Did you need the
Do you need a 2023 car?
Negative $14,000 in equity? Because that's what you have currently.
That's a very irresponsible purchase. Get a used car. You don't need to get a brand new 2023 car, especially if you're in this financial situation. I understand spending can make you feel good, so I do understand that, but that's an extraordinarily irresponsible purchase for her to make. Is a brand new car is unnecessary. I've only seen what Papa showed, but she seems like she wanted to coerce her exes into a relationship by getting pregnant. Again, that's just me. I feel like that's a lot of assumption to make, brother. I feel like it's a lot of assumption to make that she's trying to coerce her partners into relationships. Maybe that's a lot to assume. I don't know if that sounds like a stretch. I don't know if my brain would go in that direction. But okay, interesting.
You owe on this third row $34,964.90.
So then selling it and getting a crappy third row car would not be in my best interest, would it?
It would. If you sell that thing for $34,000 and you buy a $5,000 car, yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I was that desperate.
We need to view your whole situation.
I was that desperate enough thinking about it these past 2 months. Like, did I really, really need... Okay, so the only reason why I bought a new car was because, like, brand new, was because they were offering the incentive of, like, $2,500 down, like, with it. Like, they would offer to pay that.
That's not.
And I got royally screwed.
If they're offering something like that, they're still getting it something.
Yeah, I should have. I should have.
Yeah. Sounds like she puts herself in situations where she gets screwed. If you understand my joke. No, but this is a pretty bad choice. Like, this one is So far, this is like the first truly unacceptable bad choice that she's made. Like there's nothing to justify a brand new car. I understand giving your kids some V-Bucks or Roblox or whatever because you like them and spending, $20, $30, $50 on that. But to spend this much money on a brand new car, you don't need a brand new car. You need to shop around for a used car that's like sub $10,000, if that.
I should have listened to my gut in that moment, and I should have just gone and bought a used car. But
that wasn't an in the moment gut decision. I mean, you made a lot of explicit decisions to buy this car. I could see why your mom asks you for money because it's you act like you have a lot.
Reason why I believe they said that I would be paying more for a used car.
There's no way that's true.
I got manipulated.
You did.
Yeah.
Oh, again, it just keeps coming.
She it sounds like she listens to too many men because it was probably a guy she bought it from. Oh, you'll pay more if you get a used one. Oh, really? You know what? You're right. Gotta stop listening to these guys.
Okay.
I definitely don't want the $800 car payment anymore.
Yeah, that's what I haven't even gotten to yet. So $34,000.
$800, bro. I have a 2017 base model economy Kia Soul. Okay. That's what I have. All right. And I make more than $20 an hour. Okay. And I have not gotten a new car. I almost got myself a Dodge Challenger. Thankfully, I didn't because we took a step back content wise, which meant money wise. And now I'm at a spot where I'm back and I'm like, let's save up. Let's chill out. Mini next new car I'm going to get is going to be something mini vanish, Maybe not a minivan, but like an Edge or an SUV, like something that could fit my fat kids in it. God damn it!
$964 is owed on this, and it is worth $22,422. Is what it's worth. So it's worth, huh?
What is the APR?
Can you tell me?
Sorry, what was that?
Is owed on this, and that's what I haven't even gotten to yet. So $34,964 is owed on this, and it is worth $22,422.
Oh, so okay, never mind. So she's fucked. Damn.
Is what it's worth. So it's worth, huh?
So she couldn't even sell it to pay it off. Oh my god.
What is the APR?
Well, can you tell me? How do you not know?
I think it's at 16.
That's fucking brutal.
That's you.
Yeah.
Oh my god. She should try to take out a loan. She probably can't get a loan.
Oh, and I'm not inserting a joke there this time. $819 is the minimum monthly payment.
Jesus, that's a bad decision. That was bad. I could kind of understand why he's so pissed off at her, but that's fucking crazy.
But we missed our last payment.
Yeah.
So we took out the payday loan to make the bills due, but we didn't even use the payday loan to pay the minimum monthly payment on the car?
Right. Yep. I'm sorry. I'm nervous. I'm smiling.
It's okay. It's a cope smile. Get it. I've seen a lot of those.
Jesus Christ, bro. That's really bad. That's like such an undeniable. See, I kind of understand why he's angrier now because he saw this information before us. I still think that he could be acting better, but either way, man, like it's not justifiable to buy a brand new car like that when you don't have money and you don't need to do that.
Where'd the payday loan go to? That I need to know. Where'd the payday loan go to? I feel
like in the moment, then I think I really needed just groceries and stuff, and just household items. So I ended up having to spend it on that instead.
Give me an example of a household item,
And then I said I would pay because I'm honestly, I'm always behind on my car payments. They're due like on the 28th and I pay them on the 6th when I get my child support check. So I'm almost a week late.
Oh, so she uses that's why she did it. She uses her child support check for it. And like, listen, the money is for the kids. And if she's spending more than $1,000 for her kids a month, but still like, that's one of the problems. It's like she's getting this $1,000, so she's like, "Oh, well, this is like I think this is her interpretation. It's like I'm getting $1,000. That's different money. That's not my money. That's extra money. If that makes sense. That's how I look at like my TikTok money. It's like this isn't my money. This is extra money, and I just kind of save it away. But that's what I'm thinking that like her brain is going to, and that's where like this mentality is coming from. So she's like, yeah, $800 a month. That's not bad. I'll just use the child support check on it. But it's like at the same time, well, I mean, what's the fucking insurance on the car? You know, because my 250, I think I pay $257 a month in my car. I have another $250 a month in insurance. I think that's for both my car and my wife's car. But still, you have to pay insurance on your car. And the nicer the car, you know, the more the insurance typically costs.
So I need to...
I can't believe someone approved you for this. This is insane. It's crazy. And then what is this? What is this with Disney Plus?
Hey, base Disney Plus. I mean, listen, she has young kids. I could see Disney Plus is probably a really good. It's actually probably a good one. How much is she paying?
You're like financing some Disney Plus or something? It's on your credit report. I'm very confused.
I'm very confused.
What?
Unless Experian. I don't use Experian. Does Experian report like subscriptions or something? Like, but it's...
What? This is the first time I'm seeing this, so...
I don't think that's true. It makes sense that she has Disney Plus for her young kids. That one makes more sense than buying, you know, movies like they used to do back in the day.
I'm gonna have
or we used to do.
Look into this after the show. I don't know about this.
You don't know about Disney Plus? Come on. You have a bunch of fucking young kids. I don't believe that. Now she's lying.
That's in my report?
Yes. Telecom. Oh, you're self-reporting. I should have looked harder. You're self-reporting some... Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. What does matter is the next three things, which are collections.
It matters to my credit
collections,
score.
Collections. No, it doesn't. It's not actually impacting. It's like a point. If you're lucky.
So they lie when they tell you that it'll help you if you...
From one of the three bureaus, maybe just slightly, but it's going to be so insignificant.
Oh, okay. So maybe I don't know how it works, but is she reporting that she's paying a bill consistently on time to have a positive impact on her credit score?
At least in my knowledge. So I always could be wrong. What's your minimum monthly payment on the payday loan? Oh my gosh. It's okay, $39.37, but is that like every week or what is it with the payday loan? What's the current balance of the payday loan?
I believe it's like...
Was she just paying the interest?
$820.
How have you paid that? That doesn't make sense. Did you put a lot of money towards it? The first payment would have been on the 2nd of last month. There's no way you paid off half of it.
Then I might be wrong.
Anyway, okay. And then the payment looks like it's weekly.
Okay.
But we don't even know what the balance is. Yes, it's going to take the full year to pay it off, according to this.
I can look it up if you want me to.
Probably.
It's on your phone?
Yeah.
Go for it. The minimum monthly payment on whatever the balance is.
He is being rude, but at the same time, I kind of like. Listen, again, I think he should be less rude, but I understand where he's coming from. That this is kind of absurd. Oh fuck! I gotta get out of here.
$157.48.
I gotta.
So right now we already have minimum monthly payments of basically $1,000 of someone that can't pay their bills. That's very sad and very
eye-opening for me.
Terrifying.
I feel like your eyes probably were open before this. She seems to know because she kind of came in here with like oh, I know what I'm doing is wrong energy, you know.
I didn't even know it was that much.
Did you find it?
Okay, so.
Oh, queso.
Are you making the payments?
Yes. But I think
Oh, this is the payoff. Okay. So yes. No. The payoff, you're right, because the interest isn't accrued over the time. That's if he actually paid off. Well, it's actually the amount you're going to pay over time is insane, though. But yes, that is correct. You're just going to barely make any progress. Okay. Collections 1. This was from Capital One. Great. So why didn't you pay your Capital One credit card? $479.
So when I got the credit cards, I think it was it was right after I had gotten divorced, and
No. Wait, when did you get divorced? You said it's been 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
No.
I think it was finalized in like 2019.
Oh, she's saying that she got the credit card? Oh, okay.
No, you opened this a year later after that still.
Yeah, so I was pretty much just needing cash. And so...
That's not cash. That's debt. That's credit cards. That's 30% interest.
Well, I think we know what she meant. Damn, 30%.
I wasn't aware of that at any time. I didn't think about it. I didn't care.
Maybe it was first 6 months, no interest. Am I right, guys? That's why you just have to keep taking out new credit cards and never pay off your old ones.
Needed the cash to spend. And so I actually did get those cards with the intention of not paying them back.
I'm not going to for their ignorance, but I am going to on the education system.
Jesus.
Yeah. And now
Christ.
Now I'm being forced to pay them back.
Oh, there's 4 collections.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought they would make you pay back your stuff? Yeah, no kidding, huh?
Yeah, well, yeah, you took out debt. Whether or not you're ignorant to it, you still signed the contract.
I mean, it was something that I really, really needed at the time. So.
What was it that she needed? I'm curious.
Because you were scared to work.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
listen, again, I get that. I understand the scared to work thing. I do. But like, I'm wondering, I don't know.
It's kind of like I get put in a position where I can't work in the day because I have my 2 small kids, and then I'm working at night.
And mom watches the kids while they're sleeping.
Sometimes.
Was she like outraging?
She's just in her room. She doesn't help. She's just a blob there. I love my mom so much.
Wait, what's her disability?
But, she broke her hip.
Yeah.
And she's had 3 surgeries now for it.
Yeah.
And now she's currently going through she just got out of the hospital.
Well, I mean, that's rough, but mom needs to pick up the pace here and help out more.
I had surgery for a hernia that was in her chest.
Okay, wow.
So
she can't work then.
Well, she is on disability.
She is.
Yes.
Why can't she help around the house at all?
And she does work, but she works for a family member's like towing company, so she'll go in and sit down for a few hours and do that during the day.
And she can't. Are you paying her rent?
No, she pays her half.
Oh, okay. So she's paying. At least she's contributing. Okay.
And so we do kind of help each other in that aspect, but
why isn't she willing to help with the grandkids?
I don't know. My mom's not very emotional. She just doesn't.
Okay. I'm questioning how much she may or may not help the kid. I don't know.
Well, even if you're not emotional, you can help.
I don't know.
So what happens when you're gone at night then?
My 14-year-old and my 12-year-old watch my kids. So I feel scared to work because I can't. I can't
owned myself so hard.
I'm stuck in like this box. So I know that it affects her. So I can't work all day every day, and that's where I am right now. So
collections 1 $479, collections 2 $943, collections 3 $479.
Well, I think that the scared to work thing comes from like her relationship with her ex, where like he seemed to be some kind of abusive.
And then the 4th collection was just a repeat. Okay. This.
Jesus.
Oh, this was something special.
Oh, this is you're fucked here.
This was something special. Started with negative $23 in our checking account.
Mm-hmm.
All right, no response. And ended with $548. I'm glad we ended in the positive, but what do we do? What do we do with the money that we are borrowing and refusing to pay off and all this good stuff? What do we do with it?
My God.
What do we do with it? I'll tell you. Unnecessary things are in pink, my friends. This is only one page out of many. There's not many necessary purchases in here, but we are borrowing.
Yeah,
we're borrowing our kids' future away. This is where the sympathy has started to leave me, and why people probably have already rage commented, mostly on Reddit, that I was being unsympathetic. But it is because you were spending all of your money on just you.
Give me an example, Caleb.
Taquitos and taquitos and taquitos and taquitos.
Well, to be actually, I just to be clear, Caleb, taquitos are extraordinarily cheap for in my opinion, for the calories. Her getting taquitos from 7-Eleven is a really bad health decision, but you can get like 3 taquitos for $3. That's actually kind of cheap. So, McDonald's is actually very expensive now. McDonald's is very expensive, but 7-Eleven, taquitos specifically, I feel like are kind of cheap. So her eating taquitos from 7-Eleven, I don't agree with you as being that bad. I don't know what Frontline Food Service is. That looks like cats or something, or dogs. But taquitos, I disagree with taquitos. Okay?
And taquitos and taquitos and McDonald's and taquitos and taquitos and taquitos and taquitos.
Like McDonald's is more expensive than like Applebee's now. Applebee's has like a menu from 12 to 3 that's like $11 for a meal and a drink. So.
And an Apple subscription, tacos, Amazon, Chick-fil-A, Apple Cash.
What is taco? Chick-fil-A is very expensive. Going out to eat a Taco Cabrina, very expensive. You shouldn't be doing that.
Being sent out.
I would allow taquitos, though. I'll allow taquitos, yes. Okay.
$60. Knows where the that went. Amazon, McDonald's, Prime Video.
Yeah, I mean, I understand having Prime Video. Oh, wait, these were Prime Videos are like $4. I mean, she's renting movies for $4. I was gonna say like you shouldn't have the Prime Video subscription, but like it's not even that. It just sounds like she's fucking. It just sounds like she's spending money on movies. I understand Disney Plus because you have kids. Outside of that, though, like if you can't afford it, you shouldn't really be fucking around with all this stuff.
$900 payday loan advance. Is that the one we saw, or is that a new one?
That was the one you saw.
McDonald's, Amazon, McDonald's, taquitos, McDonald's, taquitos, McDonald's, yeah. Peacock. There's nothing on there anyway. McDonald's.
That's kind of true. But again, taquitos, not so bad.
Amazon, Subway, McDonald's.
The Office.
Taquitos. The Office is great, but also you can't afford it. McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, Amazon, Apple Cash that out. Who knows where the that $100 went? Taquitos, McDonald's, Amazon, McDonald's, Taco Cabana.
Okay, so I can tell.
Okay, so taquitos. So what's Sharpie company? Like Sharpie? No, it's Sharp. I don't know. What?
I don't know.
Well, you spent
Sarpy, Nebraska.
Sarpy.
I paid to get my court order here to Texas. I'm
okay, that one makes sense.
still waiting for it to come in the mail so I can go and file myself for my child support to be fixed.
Amazon, taquitos, McDonald's, taquitos, Amazon, Apple Cash sent out $100. Who knows where that went? Money Lion.
Is that the money service that she uses?
That was the other loan.
The one that's paid off?
I just paid it off, yes.
That's the one that you took because your tax return wasn't coming quick enough?
Yeah.
Amazon. Overdraft. Here we go. We're overdrafting. Well, we're having McDonald's every second of our life. We're overdrafting. And we're overdrafting. Oh, we're overdrafting
McDonald's
twice.
has really good coffee. So.
Huh?
Oh my God. Is she just getting a coffee? What's a McDonald's coffee? Hold on. McDonald's coffee price. How much is a fucking McDonald's coffee? It's like $3. Is she spending $3 at McDonald's?
Overdrafting. And we're overdrafting. Oh, we're overdrafting
McDonald's
twice.
Has really good
more
coffee. So
huh?
McDonald's has good coffee.
Oh my God.
You're f***ing with me. You're f***ing with me, right?
I don't have a coffee maker, so.
You could probably buy a coffee maker and coffee, but
4 McDonald's trip is the cost. 4 of these McDonald's trips is the stupid cost of a Mr. Coffee maker from Target or Walmart.
Well, you do have to keep in mind you still have to buy the actual coffee beans, but now it is cheaper. It's cheaper overall to do.
Are you f***ing with me? McDonald's coffee is more important than your kid's future.
At this point, like if he was nicer from the start, I would be like, okay, this is fine because he's giving her shit because she kind of deserves it. I mean, she's fucking around too much.
Sure. Are you?
And again, I do understand what it's like to be in like a situation where you had a real long, rough, tough day and you just want to you want somebody else to make your food for you. I totally get that. But it's got to come to a point where you understand that, you can't necessarily be doing that.
Kidding me? That's going to piss me the f off right now.
Right,
that is going to ruin me.
All right, Caleb, relax.
Are you kidding me?
Caleb, buddy, you got to relax a little bit. This is where the performance part comes in too much. Because again, he even admits that he's doing Jerry Springer. And I get it. It adds entertainment. But I don't think that... I think that it goes a little too far when you're yelling and lecturing somebody, especially since there's no way that that's ever going to be productive when you're yelling at a grown person, like a grown adult. It's never going to be considered they're never going to be like, oh, this is productive. This is going to help me change, And I understand that's not the entire goal of it, but there should be a level of it being the goal of trying to actually help these individuals,
That's stupid. That is stupid.
I definitely
because I know for a fact that Caleb's not this worked up over it in real life. He should, and if he is, that's a little bit bizarre to care this much about somebody else's finances. It's still bad and irresponsible, but the energy is very disproportionate.
It's
drink
dumb
coffee anymore.
Huh?
I said I definitely will not drink coffee anymore.
No,
today.
go to Mr. Coffee or Amazon.
I mean, you could just not drink coffee. You could do that.
Okay, sorry, but that legitimately pissed me off. That is just.
I'm going turbo.
You can get a coffee maker, a cheap coffee maker, and just make coffee, dude. I'm
financial alpha boot camp. Yeah, for sure, brother.
Supportive of that. Get that caffeine bean juice down the throat.
Oh, that's a little hot.
That's one thing I will say I'm pretty bad at is the coffee.
Yeah, I mean, there is a level of it too of she knew what she was getting into with the show. And if she didn't watch somebody else's, if she didn't watch the show before, that's kind of on her. I imagine she might have watched one of the episodes, saw that it was going to be a little bit rough, went on to the show. She saw them ask her. She saw them ask hey, can you ham it up a little bit? She hammed it up. She played along, and now she feels stupid because I understand that too. And she's frustrated and she feels embarrassed. And that's why she made her TikTok. I don't think that I wouldn't have complained personally because you kind of knew what you're getting into. But at the same time, it's Caleb, for Caleb's own sake, not even for her sake. I think from a longevity perspective, it'd probably be good to take a breath.
I go to Circle K and McDonald's a lot for coffee.
Yeah, you probably
spent $175 on McDonald's coffee this month.
Damn.
But we had to borrow.
Some of that.
But we had to borrow
$800,
huh?
Some of it's food, not all of it's coffee. But
well, that makes it even worse because their food is very expensive.
I see your point.
Amazon, cash, Apple Cash sent out. Who knows where the that went?
I do.
Amazon.
So
Amazon.
sometimes some of those that you'll see, the hundreds, are for, food trading.
Huh?
So my friends,
Food trading?
some of my friends who are also parents, single parents, they help me out with, because I work more. I got my food stamps taken.
You work 30.
It's not about how much you work as much as how much you make when you work. So like, yes, she probably did lose her food stamps.
They took almost all of them away. So I'm pretty much trading. I'll trade cash for them to help me get more.
What?
Is she saying that she's buying other people's food stamps?
So like 100 will get me 180 worth in food.
Is that legal?
No, it's not. She should not be admitting this right now. And it's also dumb of the other people to be doing, but okay.
Oh. But I kind of have to do what I have to do as a parent. I mean, I can't have no food.
It sounds like she's paying less for the food stamps, though. So I guess you really should have not admitted that. That one is, listen, I'm not going to judge too harshly. I don't like it when people fuck around with, like, the welfare, the benefits that they get. But I mean, you should not be admitting this. This is one of the things where it's like, keep that to yourself. It's really not very smart for you to be bragging about that. I mean, she's not bragging, but you understand my point.
And I used to get over like 700, and now I get 300. That's it. $300 lasts me a week.
No, based on your spending. Did you not see what we just went through? There are so many choices surrounding this.
Yeah. I could calm down on the food buying.
You should a lot.
Calm down on the.
Sometimes I feel like I don't have time. Like I have to work, and then I have other things I have to do. So
I get that.
I'd rather just.
I get that. I get that. That's fair for her to say, but at the same time, you kind of have to suck it up. You kind of have to do a little better. And it's, again, she's just very unfortunate in her situation.
Go and buy food really quickly, so that I know that they're fed and I'm good and I can be out of the house.
I get that. It's interesting because like for my mom, like she worked like 50 or 60 hours and we had people living with her and stuff, you know what I mean? Like aunts and whatnot helped. But my mom would cook a meal a lot. Like she would still cook a lot despite her situation. She still really put in like a lot to be able to like cook and stuff. So yeah.
Every felony, up to 10 years in prison.
My name is Zoe.
Yes. Or $10,000.
I know that's bad, but I don't really have.
How are those kids going to do with mama away?
I just sometimes feel like I don't have any other options. So, I mean,
I would just keep that one to yourself, girl.
I'm confused why you can't, for one more day a week, work overnight at a different overnight, stocking shelves at Walmart or something. If the 14-year-old kid can do it 3 days a week, not that I even want him to do this, but if he can he not turn that into 4? And everyone's sleeping, right? Mostly?
Yeah, you're right. I guess I just feel bad putting all of that weight on her. So I try.
Yeah, but I would also feel bad if you went away to jail.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you really should. If she can work a little more, she should. It sucks, but like she should.
So I just have to bite the bullet and find another night job. So that way I can be able to do both.
All right, sure. I'm going to give you $20 right now. All you have to
oh my God, I'm coming.
Do is sign up for Acorns using my link in the description below.
What the hell is Acorns?
It's an amazing investing platform that you've probably heard about before. And this makes the end of your week even better. There's no strings attached. It's literally a free $20. Use my link in the description below.
Oh, is Acorn the thing that takes some of your money, like from your purchases? Like you spend $1.50, it takes 50 cents and it puts it into like a stock market or something?
More taquitos.
Hell yeah, baby. Get those taquitos. Those are going to wear down your health, though, girl. You really should try to eat something a little better.
Listen, I truly, truly am sympathetic to your situation, but your actions behind it start ruining that.
Yeah.
If it was, I'm a single mom and there is no chance for me to work and my spending is literally all on the necessities, I'm 100% on your side. And there's nothing for me to push back on. And we could look for ways to get a better situation. But both food spending was 8.8% of your overall spending.
That's a lot. 8.8 is a lot.
It's a massive percentage. Amazon, 10.1%.
A lot of the times on Amazon, it's not just.
She sent us those at 12:04 a.m.
Okay, so this is your new checking account?
No, that was the most recent.
So this is your most recent statement that just sent in? You're negative. You're negative $400.
I have $200 in my checking account right now. I'm no longer negative. But yes, that
was
as
of last night you were negative?
Like 4 days ago.
Oh, where'd you get the money? Please not payday.
On my check. Yeah, my check.
Okay.
Yeah, pay. No payday loans. I haven't taken one out.
In like 2 weeks.
A lot of those Amazon purchases were for like
pull up your Amazon app. Pull up your Amazon app.
Yes, sir.
Damn. She got more purchases.
I did just have to buy,
filled with taquitos and
I did
Apple
just have
bills.
to buy like a gnat thing, and it was
I really think that the taquitos are probably a financially sound decision. Okay, they're just bad for your health.
like $50, but that was.
But she's also not morbidly obese like me, so that's another factor.
a gnat problem.
Subway.
in my house, so I bought.
Oh, a Nat. Nat's not Nap. Okay. Oh, more overdrafting. Oh, Subway and just taquitos and McDonald's.
Subway and taquitos and McDonald's are the best.
So like a lot of it's
overdrafts. Like, it's the same thing. It's the same fucking month, essentially, even though it's a different month.
Like food for my cats. And
girl, I'm sorry, you cannot afford to not have a case.
Yeah, you really can't afford your cats. You're gonna have to eat your cats. Devour the cats.
Like, what do you do if this breaks?
Well, I dropped it in the toilet the other day.
So we have like 3D glasses.
The eclipse is coming up.
Oh my god. Like, I don't really falter for the glasses for the eclipse. I don't think it's a big deal, but it's like with everything else. If it was like, yeah, it's just the glasses for the eclipse, okay, but it's everything else. It's like, oh my god, it's just like the fucking salt in the wound at that point. You know what I mean? Oh my god.
I'm definitely.
You know what else is coming up? In Rent.
Yeah, you're right. But I mean, that's a once in a lifetime. You have to view that.
You don't, and it's not once in a lifetime. It's like every 20 years. So, but also, you just don't. I didn't look at it. I didn't give a shit. My wife was upset that we didn't see it though, and I was just like, "What?" It's just the problem with my wife is that she wanted to see the solar eclipse or whatever it was, and she's like, "Yeah, it should be fine if I just look at it with regular sunglasses." I'm like, "No, I'm pretty sure you need special glasses." And then she was like, "Oh, it'll be fine. I'm just going to look at it for a second." And I kept yelling at her until she decided out of upset she wasn't going to watch it. But I'm like, I don't need your fucking retinas being burned out. You know, you're being a silly little goose. You know.
And we're in the path. We're definitely in direct path of the eclipse.
Milk replacer, was that for the little...
My cat just had kittens. She had 5.
Gosh.
What the hell? Who's fucking your cat?
Yeah, so currently...
Your house needs to stop breeding.
True. Why the fuck is her cat... Like, she probably shouldn't have a cat, but okay, you have a cat. Fine. Why the fuck is it getting pregnant?
Yeah, lots of cat things. Lots of cat... Pringles. And then more cat stuff.
I tried to buy snack.
Pringles, I think, are like kind of right.
Chocolate drink. Yeah, but these, like, you need to we need to do the necessities. You can't. You're negative in your checking account.
Well, listen. If you're getting Pringles, I mean, it's not a healthy choice, but if you're getting Pringles from a supermarket, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like, I would consider that like, okay, that's fine. It's from a supermarket. If you're getting Pringles from 7-Eleven, there's your problem. Shop at a supermarket.
Multiple times a month. We're taking out payday loans. We don't get to get Yoo-hoo chocolate milk. We don't. We get
My son wants milk. I have to buy milk.
We get chocolate syrup. We mix it. We do this motion.
Oh my god, relax.
We mix it.
I think that whole bottle of chocolate syrup's like $4 now.
Yeah, but you can get a lot out of it. But okay.
Waste.
Compared to the individual packets of Yoo-hoo, are you fucking kidding me? Someone had a clogged toilet.
Yes.
Shit, I poop my toilet all the time.
Really needed it.
You know what my wife did it one time? She put the what is it? The stamp. The smell good stamp in the toilet, but she put it in the bowl in the back, and it fucking destroyed the seals in our toilet. I had no idea what happened. Leaking water. Our cesspool was filling up every 6 months. We had to call somebody. It's $250, and they're like, "Yeah, you can't do that." And they replaced the filters. Now I can do it myself, but I don't know what the fuck's going on. You know, I don't know. I don't know she was doing that, but it says on the box, "Don't do that." I wonder why. You know,
tablecloth for survival, guys. What is happening here? A sling bag, great. Memory foam, great. Push-up bras, hide my innocent eyes.
Okay, well, I'm sure kids. I guess, is that for kids or for her? Do kids wear push-up bras? I have no idea. What does a kid wear? I don't know. What does a kid? Okay, you know what? I don't know why. Well, she has old daughters, but okay, maybe they're for her.
And makeup and yeah, I would say about half is necessity, half is not.
Okay.
So.
What is a push-up bra? Because for some reason, my brain's going to, when I hear push-up bra, I hear pull-ups, and then I hear that it's like something for a kid. But that doesn't make sense to me. Now that I'm thinking about that, does that just like perk up your boobs? That's probably for her. All right. I'm tired, guys. Don't give me shit for that one. All right. Just a little silly of me.
Not a good excuse then. I gotta buy things that I need too. I can't just let them run loose.
Huh?
I have to buy bras and stuff and makeup.
Well, I mean, listen, you do need bras, but you don't need to buy a bunch of bras. I think bras should last a while. You'd think they should last a while, unless you're, having a fucking problem. I mean, maybe some of these bras are cheap, so the wire pops out and everything. I get that, but
and just let them run loose.
You can't.
Is that what you said? Pretty funny. I let them just run loose.
I mean, the cost of living has gone up tremendously. It's like 3 times the cost now. And
that's not true. It's not 3 times the cost. There are aspects of cost of living that have gone up, but it's not triple the cost.
3 times the cost.
It's insane. I feel like it's just blown up, and a lot.
Cost of living has gone up, and it's definitely a struggle for people, but like it's not as bad as people want to like that. It's being sensationalized by a lot of media outlets, and it's going to be conservative outlets right now because we're under Biden. If we were under Trump, there would be progressive outlets that would be sensationalizing it too. So I understand people are susceptible to like that type of misinformation, but it's not so bad that justifies like. But again, this woman bought a brand new 2023 car when she never needed to do it. So like, oh, cost of living has gone up. Yeah, it sounds like you made a really irresponsible decision from the start.
A lot of the things that would cost me like $20 is now like $80 to $100.
Give me an example of one thing that has gone up from $20 to $80 or $100 because that just doesn't exist.
What? I don't remember inflation being 30%, 100%, 200%. I don't remember
I'm
that
not pretty sure
inflation
of the
number
actual
happening.
Statistics, but
I remember seeing at the what was the peak, like 9%? We're at about 3 now. What economy?
I mean, it definitely feels like it's going back down now, but
what went from $20 to $100? That just doesn't exist.
Prices aren't going back down necessarily. On some of the flexible things, yeah, we can see some down, especially like gas. But in general, I mean, prices will increase in general, but the rate to their increasing is going to go up and down. And the fact that you just said prices are coming down and that you're blaming the economy immediately seems like
you're just looking for an excuse. Yeah, that's how it seems. That's what it seems like.
Cop out.
I mean, like prices in gas is going down.
Okay,
but prices in like food,
one.
prices in food is not. I mean, costs in just food alone.
But you said it 3 times. I think we lived in a completely different country these last couple of years. Yes, prices went up. Eggs went crazy for a second. Things had their time in the sun, went crazy. There was like a massive bird flu, and a lot of poultry got very expensive. And there was.
That's why you just gotta buy fake meat.
Really
even
bad
housing,
inflation.
I can tell you housing has gone up, and for a 3-bedroom, like I can barely afford a 3-bedroom.
How much was her increase? What was her pay?
Let's speak about your right. You're in San Antonio, right?
In the place, yeah, we were living alone. I was living alone beforehand, but we both also even came and lived together because we both couldn't afford rent on our own.
The rent that you're already at, or rent across the board? Because rent actually has gone down these last 2 years.
Like the rent across the board, I couldn't afford. Where I was in the position that I was, I couldn't afford even.
Okay, so she went from living by herself with her kids to living with her mom, and now it should be cheaper overall though, because she said they're splitting it in half. So
a 2-bedroom for like $900 would just eat.
In the area that we're in, rent has actually gone stable, if not down, these last 2 years. And it's actually
$900 for a 2-bedroom. Is that what she just said? That's insane.
I couldn't afford. Where I was in the position that I was, I couldn't afford even like a 2-bedroom for like $900. $900 would just eat.
In the area that we're in,
$900 is cheap as fuck for a 2-bedroom. That's crazy.
And rent has actually gone stable, if not down, these last 2 years. And it's actually cheaper to rent than own.
I'm not looking in the right places then.
Okay. Well, so the only reason I push back, I'm not saying that you're wrong. Inflation, brutal, absolutely. The last couple of years, of course. And rent is expensive, in terms of just wage increases versus rent increases historically, absolutely. What I struggle with is when I see the actions found in people's documents here, and then I hear them say, "Oh, but the economy. Oh, but inflation." That is an immediate, to me.
It's an excuse.
Buzzwords, cop out.
Yeah.
Versus personal
Honestly,
responsibility.
you're right, because I can't find myself even looking sometimes when I go to spend on chicken, like I'm spending like almost $60 versus 3 years ago I would spend half that. And
okay, I don't think that she's understanding what he's saying unless they edited this in a weird way. He's saying that you're making excuses. It sounds like she's still trying to figure out more excuses.
Look at that and I'm like, am I really spending that on that? And I guess it doesn't register until after it hits me. And so then I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have spent that, So
and it was
I'm learning the hard way that even, with the economy being tough as it is, that also my spending habits are playing a role in it too. But
yeah, pretty big role.
I feel like the economy does have a lot to do with where.
I mean, you bought a brand new 2023 car, so it's kind of fucked you up pretty hard there.
There's the gap is getting bigger and bigger for me. I feel like the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer.
That's true, and that is something to keep in mind. But again, there's a difference between acknowledging that and using that as an excuse, and she's using it as an excuse for very irresponsible decisions. So,
and if us in the middle class have to pick which one we're going to decide. Are we going to work harder to become...
Oh, shit. Twitter got to her. TikTok got to her, guys.
On top, or are we going to kind of...
She's not wrong, but...
Stay stuck in the position we are.
And what have you chosen in your hypothetical?
lately I've been Idol. You know, I guess I didn't really wake up to it until I found
American Idol,
your show, and then I was like, oh
fuck
that, I'm not going to be on the bottom.
Right,
so the economy and the wealth divide prompted you to finance a $900 couch. The economy and wealth
it's probably not a good idea.
Wealth divide prompted you to take out what was it, 18% $800 car payment.
Well, no, that was just
on a
dumb
brand
decisions.
new third row. Yeah, exactly.
Dumb decisions.
Again, if we just start virtue
in the
signaling,
moment.
if we start buzzwording, again, this is a personal responsibility zone. This isn't a the world zone.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's at the ballot box. That's a different show. This is where you take accountability for your you actually put actions behind your desires. If your desire is to do better, you do better. You don't do what we just saw in all of this, where you spent all your money. In those spending percentages, again, stopping at the
yeah, no, what he's saying is fair. This is the problem, is that we do exist in a society that will look at real problems in the world, and then some people will use that to victimize themselves. So they'll be like, okay, it's rough to be in the middle class, right? Of course, absolutely. I totally get it, you know? So what they'll do is they'll say, well, it's rough to be in the middle class, and then they'll use it as a justifier to make bad decisions, and they'll emotionally be like, oh, this is okay. It's okay that I'm spending way too much money on everything. It's okay that I'm going out to, you know, eat fast food or doing this and or going out to eat every night instead of cooking because things are tough and this is that and this. And you get to a certain point where like you're just justifying bad behavior. You're not going to be able to change the world in a day. It's good to acknowledge these things, but when you acknowledge that it's tough to be middle class, your acknowledgement of that is like, okay, I have to vote better, and I also have to spend better because I don't want to be poor, and I have to kind of hunker down and get through this. It sounds like she's using it as an excuse. It sounds like she's on TikTok a little too much, using it as an excuse. So
gas stations and all that other crap, the miscellaneous bullshit. And if you combine all the crap that was unnecessary across every category, we're seeing about 25 to 35% to potentially 40% at the high end was spent on bullshit, unnecessary, not needed for survival crap. Again, I'm not opposed to people getting unnecessary things. I get Starbucks. I want you to get Starbucks. You don't get to get Starbucks when we're borrowing payday loans. We don't get to get Starbucks when we're...
Get Dunkin' Donuts. It's a little cheaper.
We don't get to get McDonald's coffee when we're negative in our checking account 2 times a month minimum. We don't get to get McDonald's coffee.
I don't even know how you get negative in a checking account. That's crazy.
When we can't pay our
President Trump, please save us.
Our bills. I want you to. We live in reality. Reality can sometimes be a little bit of...
Yeah.
We're so close to the gold threshold that I need.
Months, so.
Holy fuck.
And what's up with your car insurance? We didn't see that in the statements.
True that, man. Let's see what the car insurance is. It's probably fucking brutal.
What's up with my what?
Car insurance? Oh,
she knows it's bad.
Oh, fuck. What? What's that face? And
I can't afford car insurance.
Oh, my God. You bought a car and you didn't get car. Do they even let you leave without car insurance? She get the car insurance and then she stopped. That's not bad. Shut up. Did she get the car insurance and then fucking like to leave the place and then immediately cancel it or something? That's fucking crazy, dude. What the fuck?
You can't afford a car.
Yeah, it's right there. But I'm currently I'm looking into insurance today.
Looking into. I kind of doubt that.
My sister is she's gonna get me hooked up with her USA insurance, so I'm gonna try to get myself on it. But my job is like literally 5 minutes from where I live.
That's not okay. So job's 5 minutes away. Do you need a car? I understand that her car, she has $34,000 on the car, and then she has $14,000, and it's only worth like $24,000 or something like that, or $22,000. But it might be time to sell that car to reduce the amount of money that you owe and take the fucking bus, to put your kids on a school bus, walk to work. You know, 5 minute. If it's a 5 minute drive, 20-minute. I don't know. Does mom have a car? I don't know, man. There's got to be something. There's got to be some kind of solution here.
You just answered the question. You just answered the question. Sell your car today. Sell your car today. Borrow the difference. That new borrowing of the difference is now your new balance that we are paying off. It is as easy as that. You just answered the question. My work is 5 minutes away. Third row. Oh,
well, you got it. Well, okay, you have to ask about the kids too. You got to see what the kid's situation is. Because it'd be difficult to not have a car, but like, is there someone else's car you could use? Can you share a car with your mother? What's that situation like? You know, do you have public transportation in your area? You know.
Okay, what's the situation? What's your mom's car?
She has a Nissan car.
How come you guys aren't sharing?
Her car.
A Nissan car. Okay.
Yes.
Can you borrow it sometimes to take the kiddos to the soccer game? Not all of them at the same time, but some of them.
I'm gonna die here.
Yes, I could, but
Do we pack up
Then how come she doesn't?
the whole crew and always go places on a daily basis?
no.
Okay. How often do we have to pack up the whole crew and room around town?
Not enough to the point where I need the car.
Okay.
Oh, so why the fuck do you need? She's saying she doesn't need the car. Why the fuck do you have the car?
Well, you've answered it. Thank you. We're selling the car. We're borrowing the difference. What's the difference? It's valued at $22,000, $500, and the payoff is $34,000. That sucks.
So refinancing wouldn't be an option.
Whoa.
Why not?
With what?
I mean,
With
if
what
we could
credit
try-
score? What's your credit score?
I think it's like 590.
No.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna let you get away with that, girl.
Kidding me? Be lucky if you can qualify
Even
for
if
the
I've had
personal.
the car
Yeah.
forever.
You'll be lucky if you can qualify for the personal loan that we need you to get.
You'll be lucky if you can qualify for the personal yacht. Incredible stuff.
Anyway, no, this is legit. I'm being 100%.
This is
refinance.
bad.
What are you refinancing? The balance is going to be the same. The interest rate, you're not going to get a better rate than that. Your credit score sucks. You're going to get a interest rate on this personal loan anyway. But a $12,000 bad interest rate is better than a $34,000 bad interest rate. You're selling that today. It's not an option. Congratulations. You've entered the sell the car zone.
Okay.
Every audit type channel's favorite phrase in solution.
I didn't even want the new car anyway. I really didn't.
I don't understand why. I think she's saying that as a cope, and I get it. But it's like, why are you saying that? It makes you look so silly. It's like, yeah, I didn't even want it anyway. So why the fuck did you buy it?
Oh, good.
I
Now you
don't
don't get
even
the.
know.
Now you don't have to have it anymore. Proud of you.
Yeah, you know what? If Caleb said, "Do you want to do OnlyFans?" I could kind of understand at this point. If he was like, "Do you want to try OnlyFans out?" I know a guy. I'd be like, that actually might not be a bad solution. Okay. She is fucked, man. These people are insane. Some of these guys are fucking wild. What are you doing? This is insane. It's insanity, guys. It's insanity.
Okay. So now we have a $12,000 loan. That feels better. That's much more manageable.
She's not going to sell the car. I wonder if she ever sold the car. I truly do.
Yes.
It's a consequence for a fuck up, but it's the real world. Okay, so across everything, 2,740 comes in from work currently, plus an extra $1,000 from child support, and then the other child supports are just we can't rely on them, right?
No.
So we'll just call what comes in $3,740 on a monthly basis.
Just take all that money that you can for selling the car and put it on red. It's a 50% chance you'll double your money. Okay? Just do it.
Yes,
Do it.
that is hard.
Just do it.
Single mom of 4 in a major
5.
city, 5 in a major
yeah.
city. Absolutely. I got you. I got the sympathy. I have to make that clear because I'm digging into you.
And I want to mention it's like 111% of the time.
What does that mean?
The kids don't ever go to
What?
their fathers. Never.
Oh, okay. Well, they all sound like pieces of shit, so the father's not the kids.
Yeah, that sounds true.
So I don't know if I'd want the kids there anyway.
That's a silver lining way to look at it, to be honest with you. Okay.
Right? I don't
Oh.
know.
Well,
It's a cope. You know what I mean? Like, the fathers are shit. You're probably better off without them. It can be true in many cases. Like, for instance, Walter's kid. But it's probably a productive cope. Like, you know what? This is better. It's one of those things where you got to tell yourself something to make you feel better.
I mean,
Are there more kids coming? Or
No.
have we concluded the little journey of
motherhood,
kids?
we've definitely concluded that journey.
Has she? This is a real question. Has she considered selling her eggs? I don't think she needs them anymore. Like we said, egg prices are real high right now. No, but all jokes aside, I'm pretty sure you get a good amount of money for selling your eggs. She looks like she's a pretty healthy, person. Maybe she should legitimately sell her eggs.
Okay. At least we don't
Unless
have
I
to
find a
prepare.
husband down the line, like in 4 years or something.
Yeah.
I don't think that you should really be focusing on marrying anybody at this point. So
Yeah. We're going
JK.
from 5 to 10 real quick.
Okay.
Maybe I can set you up with my producer Noah back there. He's
No.
single and mingling.
this is the comments that she's talking about. This was nothing.
Maybe we'll talk about that in the post show. Get you guys on a date.
I don't know. I just, I got
I don't really. It seemed offhanded. She seemed to be sensationalizing. Some of the stuff she had like a good point on. I'm not gonna lie, but it seems like she's overstating how fucking sexual harassment-y he's being rude in some instances, but he's not that bad.
stood up by a cop. I think because I had 5 kids, so I was like,
Okay, I'm not trying to be an asshole. I really don't want this to come off as mean. I think maybe it's time to stop dating servicemen, cops. One of them's in the military. Not gonna lie, I appreciate cops for the job they do. Cops most of the time make shitty partners, or maybe not most of the time, but I would say more than typical. It's a tough job, and a lot of times they take it home with them, and they don't necessarily act the best, and sometimes they can have anger problems, especially military guys. Not trying to be rude. Okay, it sounds like she's not picking the best. Stop dating, period. But maybe stop dating cops and fucking fucking cops and military guys. Just say it.
He's not a cop.
No, I recently.
After the show, but actually late for because you were 45 minutes late.
I apologize.
You were very late.
Oh, she got late too. Damn.
And which means I'm not getting my hair cut. And look at this.
Maybe the date isn't meant to be. Maybe timing means everything.
Oh yeah, so maybe you guys are going out instead. For what it's worth, we just had to cut something very funny.
She had a date on her financial audit day. That's an interesting play.
Money from the show. $877.14 is your debt minimum monthly payments. What's your portion of rent?
I would say it's about 900.
You would say,
because I give like an extra 100 to 200 depending on what she asks for. So
you have 5 kids. She needs to be a.
True.
Your portion of utilities.
That's included. That's just all included.
Oh, that's really cheap. Like, I mean, I live in New York, but we pay I think $1,700 for the rent, and then we pay like money for the electricity, the water, the internet, this, you know.
And internet?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I don't use internet, so
gas is no longer in your budget because you don't have a car.
She's not going to sell the car, Caleb. Come on.
Yay.
That's exciting.
That's true, though. It is exciting. Well, she would still buy her mom's car.
But what I will be putting in here is an extra $150 a month for potential Uber XLs if we need to take the crew around, you know, and it's like hard to get the bus and all that good stuff. So I think that's fair. Car insurance doesn't need to be in the budget. Necessary food, that's interesting. Whew, for all y'alls. That's a curious one. It's going to be expensive.
Do you know how to budget for a family of 6?
Well, I'm thinking.
Well, why is it oh yeah, she's one of the 6. Okay.
I know how to budget. I'm trying to think. So we're going to be aggressively meal prepping. And you're going to go through our budgeting program and you're going to learn the ins and outs of budgeting and how to stick to it. And it's going to be great for you. But we're trying to just get like a basic budget so we can.
Meal prepping will be very important though, you know. Freeze that meals, man. Freeze those meals. Put them in the freezer.
And come up with some kind of plan right now.
I'm not saying that I do meal prepping. I don't have to. You know what I mean? Like, but so I'm not, you know, but it's easy to say, but still you got to do something. Oh yeah, no, it's cheap. Just to be clear, $1,700 is very cheap for where I live in New York. I'm just paying off I'm just paying the rent. We live in my mother-in-law's house, so we pay all the bills for the house because it's like she's not living here, but we don't. She doesn't make a profit off of us, so it's very cheap. Absolutely, for sure, like for sure.
Because I think you can aggressively meal plan. I think you can do it for about $1,200 a month,
maybe.
Which actually might be over, but I'm also just trying to be for everybody because I know the 1.5-year-old. Like things could be more expensive, and
yeah, clothing gets expensive for the young kids too.
Toilet paper fund. This also gets hard. I'm gonna do.
Hey, just use your hand.
$400 a month.
For what?
Is anything else you need to survive on a monthly basis for the household, and it can also
What is a toilet paper fund? That $400 a month in toilet paper? What the fuck?
Include if we need a new pair of shoes because the 14-year-old just ran through them, you know, and it goes in that month. The school thing goes in that month. That's what goes in that month.
This might be, I don't know. I just simply don't know. It might be an impractical budget for somebody with kids, but I think that the point is that she needs to budget.
Okay.
Subscriptions, canceled. You just simply can't afford them. I'm sorry. I mean, we're working with scraps here. What's your phone total?
So right now, my mom and me are in the process of getting our own lines. So for now and this month.
You mean separating?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I am going to get my own phone line. So I don't know what the bill
You own that phone?
Almost, yeah, pretty much.
When are you done?
I'm not too sure. I have to really look it up.
When you own it, I want you to switch to Helium. It's $20 a month. It's perfect for people on a budget. Uses the same towers.
Unlimited everything?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Helium is my new provider.
Dude, it's seriously sick. So I'll put $20.
I really hope that she actually does stuff like this instead of just saying she'll do it. You know,
it's in there. Unless it's like months down the road.
Oh, non-consumable essentials. Gotcha. EP fund. I didn't know. I fucking thinking toilet paper.
Because you're still paying back, but we don't know.
Like a tampon fund? Is that what it's supposed to be?
Anything else you have to take care of? Gym, I mean, what else? Medical? Anything that is an ongoing expense?
I would say no, pretty much. We're all covered for that.
The couch. What's the couch minimum monthly payment?
I just paid off the couch yesterday.
Okay, so nothing else in the budget?
No.
Okay, we might have some wiggle room here, but it's gonna be tight.
Oh shit, Caleb, what are we selling now?
Barely made it. Okay. So minimum in order to survive, 3,547.17, but you have 3,740. So an extra $192.83 on a monthly basis is left over if you actually budget, if you're actually disciplined, if we're not getting McDonald's coffee every second of our life and injecting it into our veins. Also, searching for certain pro bono things, whatever we can find. I want to start thinking about how we can collect the rest of this child support, especially the person that can be found.
Yeah.
Whatever we can bring in, it is their responsibility. You pay the bills. It's as easy as that. So.
You heard it from him.
You heard it from.
Yeah, I'm sure he's watching this right now.
From me. Y'all, this is the time to switch to my favorite high yield savings account. With SoFi, you can get 4.6% on your money. I hate when my money is just losing value.
You know, it's interesting because like I wonder, you know, I understand people take advertisements or whatever. I wonder how like solid is this solid? Like, is this something you would actually recommend people to use if you didn't get money for it? You know, to invest in Acorns or SoFi or this or that and the other thing. You know,
value. So make sure you're keeping up with inflation at the very least. You can also get FDIC insurance on that money up to $2 million with them. Plus, they'll give you money up to $300.
You can get it. I thought this came standard.
When you set up an account with them. There's even extra perks like being able to get paid a couple days early. SoFi is what I use when I'm setting money aside, and it is the banking app of the future. Sign up, link in the description below. I always want my money to be making more money, so don't lose money on yours.
I'm surprised at that amount that's left over, actually.
This is what happens when you actually budget, when you actually manage your money, when you actually act like an adult and you don't go blow it all on bullshit.
Damn. A little mean, but okay.
I need to check my phone because
I'm
2 minutes over my barber appointment. It's okay, they haven't responded. But oh my gosh, my hair is freaking out. Look at this thing.
I can't believe you decided to film with your hair like that.
I know, it's it's absolutely wild.
Okay. I feel bad for her, but you know.
So yeah, the payday loan, we're paying that off in 3 months with your leftover money. Okay. But the $12,000, that's the hard one.
Wait, which payday loan are you talking about?
You only have one, I thought, active.
Which one are you referring to? The money line or the
Damn, she has another payday.
It's good news. I was just going to say
the one you showed me on your phone.
Oh, yes, that one is still active. But the money line is paid off.
I already told you that.
Yeah, okay.
I said that at the beginning.
Okay.
It would take 62 months with this money left over to pay off the $12,000 remaining car loan after you sell your car and borrow the difference. And that's insane. Imagine paying off the whole thing. That's 5 years. So that's unacceptable, obviously. We're not getting ahead. You're entering 40s. Yeah. You're never going to be able to invest. It's like so bad. Okay, so.
Well, you could at least break even, you know?
Reality.
Hearing that.
Yeah, reality time. Reality is...
also, she has room to get a second job, too. I believe that was a determination.
At minimum, you have to pick up one night shift somewhere else. I'd pick up 2. It sucks. I'm sorry that you have to do it. I don't want you to do it. It's the worst. It's blah, blah, blah. You could also go through bankruptcy. Don't want you to. Your credit's going to be for a long time, and it's going to be very hard for you to take advantage of anything you ever need to, if you ever want to, in the next 7 years or so. I think we're picking up a night shift at Walmart if we can. 2 night shifts at Walmart. You're working your off. As just
I wonder is she able to do that because of like without having a car anymore in this theoretical
hardworking mom. Yeah, it's just because it's like literally the only option other than bankruptcy, and that's your choice if you want to. I don't feel comfortable recommending that, but
I won't ever do bankruptcy.
And the child support, if we get that, the child support makes a mess. We need to start talking to a potential lawyer about that. Hopefully pro bono. But we can work a couple nights a week extra. That seriously, you could pay off that $12,000. These collections, that one payday loan, and get $10,000 for an emergency fund. We could do that, I think, in a couple years. But a couple years is nothing. You're going to be 34. Your oldest kid's going to be 16, so not even in college yet. Yeah. And they're going to see, the 1.5-year-old, they're going to grow up in a household that's not stressed about money. They're going to grow up in a household where their college might be taken care of. They're going to grow up in a household where mom has a retirement plan.
That's my goal.
2 years, a 2-year sacrifice in the grand scheme of life. Life is short, but 2 years is still quite insignificant, especially when it completely turns our life around.
Yeah, you're right. Absolutely. And that's what I want to do. That's why I'm here.
Remember, this 2 years in plan only works if you go pick up an extra couple shifts, if we get the child support figured out, which shouldn't be your responsibility. But I'm sorry, again, real world, this is not an I wish zone. Yeah. This is it's the real world. And it's also with you budgeting. the budget I have, and this is a loose budget, you're going to get a more concrete one when you figure out your actual numbers.
More work with 5 kids. Yeah, if she can. Yeah, I mean, like, just to be clear, for those of you who might like join late, right now she's working like about 30 hours a week. She's not working a full 40-hour work week. And so like the idea, and she's already admitted that she can work more. So the idea is if you can work more, then like, yeah, you should try to work more. Seems like her mother's home to be able to take care of the kids in some capacity, at least watch them at night, you know? So yeah, that makes sense.
Like what it costs for you to feed the, all the little things.
Little things.
Yeah. All those creatures. So
gangly looking things too.
Yeah.
Oh, I do have an extra 500 credit though coming for paying off that loan.
Good. Put it towards the other payday, and that gets you paying it off even quicker. Thing is, you have to budget, and for the next 2 years, you have to tell them no. Yeah, and that's so hard. It's going to be so hard for your heart. It's going to be so hard. But for their future, and for the ones that are able to understand complex situations a bit more, the older ones, sit down, explain the situation, be like, this is what mom has been going through, and this is where we want to get to, and it's going to make everyone's lives better, and these are the sacrifices we have to take. And it sounds like the 14-year-old is mature as honestly.
She's very
she'll understand maybe the...
Oh no, Caleb's grooming her. Just kidding.
12-year-old, probably not the 8, 3, or 1.5. But those are conversations you have that feel appropriate in the moment for you, but we need to learn to say no for these next couple of years. The fun part is, after you get the fully funded emergency fund and all the bad debt is gone, you get to save up and get like a $10,000 car. We get to start spending 30% of our money just about on fun if you can do your needs less than 50% or less. If you can, we're at minimum contributing 20% to invest.
That's too much, probably, especially for kids under 5. I disagree. I mean, the problem is like I disagree with you. My mother worked 60 hours a week, so like saying that 30 hours is too much or 40 or 50 hours is too much, it's just not. It's not. Well, okay, let me be clear. It is too much if you don't have to, but at the end of the day, if you have to, it is what it is. And she said that she can handle it. So, like, we're not even having a conversation about, is it too much? She says it's not too much. I agree with her. She has the mom there to watch the kids at night. She can work a couple of more night shifts. It sucks. It's unfortunate. But, I mean, she has no money. She's burnt. She's in the red. She's in the negative. Yeah, she has 5. Okay. Again, I think the problem here, again, I'm gonna stop getting sunlight by you. Again, she says she can handle it. I think you came into the segment a little late. She says she can handle it. 40 hours is typical. Getting 1 or 2 more shifts to put her at 40 to 50 hours is... She says she can handle it. And I think that, like, you have to listen to that part. Like, the reality is life is not perfect. Life is not ideal. Her life is a little rough, and that sucks for her, and we're not there, and I get it, and it's, like, easy for me to say. But at the end of the day, you got to do what you got to do. I don't know if you ever watched Rugrats before. A baby's got to do. Baby's got to do. And it just is what it is, man. You got to work. My mom, she can be there for the kids when she's not working. On her days off, she can be there for her kids. Her kids will have to learn to understand that mom has to go to work. Like, I used to be sad when my mom would work so much too. It would upset me. I would like pray for my mommy that she would come home safe and not die. I would see her in the mornings for a little bit, and then I wouldn't see her until the next morning, because she worked all the time. It's not fun, but it's life, man. It is what it is. Oh, you're suggesting the night shift? No, she works night shift. The reason he's suggesting night shift is because that's the time that she works. That's the time that she works. Like, she works night shift now 4 days a week or 3 days a week, because like it's better for her schedule. So her mom watches the kids at night, so she goes and watches night shift, like that. So that's why he's suggesting night shift. He's not suggesting night shift because like he's an asshole or anything. That's just like, that's what her schedule demands. So she's right now working Amazon night shift. So just to be clear,
investing, I'd love you to be able to have fun with the apps like Moomoo and stuff that I get to. It's all great investing stuff. I love it. It's fun, and I wish we could have that conversation, but we're not. That's not where you are. But you get to spend, you'll be able to spoil them more than you've ever been able to when you actually get this taken care of and you actually get your shit together and you sacrifice for just a few years.
I'm ready to do that because I do want to eventually invest and learn all of that. So and learn how to make my money work for me. I don't want to.
Yeah, he should be suggesting her that she does DraftKings. Just do DraftKings, bro. Just gamble all the money. Sell the car. Take the money that you got for selling the car and invest it onto DraftKings right now. That's what you need to be doing. You need to be investing in You need to be investing into DraftKings right now. All right, get out of here with this weak ass shit. Put it all on red. All right, never put it on black. Just kidding. Put it all on red. Put it all on black. Put it all on 17 fucking red. Gamble the money away, and if you make it, hell yeah. If you don't, I never gave you the advice. Okay, those are the two options that we have here. That's a fact. Okay, that's it. All I could say.
Yeah. I don't want to be working for the rest of my life.
Well, you said you also wanted to go back to school.
Work,
I think we still sacrifice and do this for 2 years and then we go back to school.
Yeah, that makes sense. If you actually know it. Because it sounds like to her, and I think to a lot of people, when you say I want to go back to school, it's more like I want to do something better. And that's a good sentiment overall. Like, I want to do something better. That's an absolutely amazing sentiment. But sometimes it's not productive. You know, sometimes it's just like you got to just keep pushing on. Especially if you got 5 kids. You don't really have as much flexibility, unfortunately. It's just the unfortunate reality of life.
But that's okay. That's okay. My mom went and got her nursing degree. You know, I think it was upper 20s at the time for her, maybe early 30s. And that's okay. She did that because she wanted to, you know, turn the household around and make some money. Then my dad has started a successful small business and he turned the household around. I grew up in a situation, honestly, not too far away from this. My parents were together and I'm blessed that they still are, but they were like working minimum wage when I was born. We didn't have much. We couldn't do all the things.
My mommy was working at White Castle.
Did spoil me, but they spoiled me by going into debt.
Yeah.
And I saw the struggle. And your kids do not need to go through that struggle. Just a couple years sacrifice.
That's definitely why I'm here and why I don't want to go through that.
It sounds like he's giving her legitimate advice, by the way. Like, she claimed that he didn't. I mean, like, yes, he's flaring it up a little bit for his thing. I think he could have been nicer throughout a lot of this. In his defense, he knows her schedule. He knows her money situation more than we did at first. So, like, he's coming into it knowing how bad her money is. We didn't know how bad her money is going into it. So I understand. He's worked up a little bit. Some of it is performative. He could have been better. But overall, like, he's giving her legitimate advice. Like, this isn't terrible advice. Like, you know?
I went through that with my mom. And I saw her do that my whole life. So I think that's where I'm learning my habits from. And
probably.
I'd also love to see her step up.
Yeah.
It sounds like, listen, this is a reach, but it sounds like she watches like a lot of TikTok or social media and like has a good understanding of some of the ways that life works. But it sounds like it's in a very shallow perspective. Like, she was talking about inflation before, making that as an excuse. And now she's talking about like, well, she seems to be rather introspective. She's talking about like, all these are behaviors my mom had. So it sounds like she's getting educated. And by the way, it's not bad. But I would say that it sounds like she knows of it, or she seems to be aware of it, but maybe she's not applying it as much as she should or could, you know?
Yeah.
If you could work during the day by her watching, that would be great.
I would love to be able to do that.
Yeah.
I would definitely try to have a conversation with her.
Hopefully she's watching.
What I would love to see that, because that's a hard one.
She did talk shit about her mom, though. It's kind of fucked up.
Okay. Well, that's my diagnosis and prescription. It's not perfect.
Okay.
Could I ask you a question about?
Please.
Okay, so I'm currently going through an application process for a CPS caseworker.
Oh, okay.
To be a CPS caseworker, that's a tough job.
Because I'm actively looking for a job, I'm applying for that because I do have my background.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a loan forgiveness program. So that
you're talking about the public student loan forgiveness?
Yeah.
You can't at all. Wait.
If I were to get hired onto that position.
Yeah, I think it's if you get hired and you stay around there for a certain amount of time.
That's for student loans, though.
Yes, it's student loan forgiveness. Yes.
She didn't bring up the student loan she has. Oh no.
I thought they reflected in the that's why I wanted to put myself back in school so I could kind of put a pause on that.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I was about to say, it sounds like she wants to go to school more than anything else just so that she can pause her student loans and not necessarily because she wants to go back to school. Wouldn't recommend going back to school just to pause your student loans. This is fucking crazy, man.
How much student loans do you have? How much student loans do you have?
I think it's like 40,000.
Oh my God. That's fucking barbaric, dude. That's insane. 40,000 for an associate's degree? I mean, I fucking still paying like $50,000 on my ex's loan that I stupidly co-signed. And all she had was only for her going from an associate's already to a bachelor's. Like she fucked around in school a lot though. Like, Jesus Christ.
Are you my entire life?
Oh my God.
I assume right now you're on income base and you're not paying?
Right.
Oh
But the only reason why I haven't started paying was because I was in this limbo of a year and I was deciding what I was going to
do. So. This is so bad.
Me.
Oh my God.
Me. Doesn't involve making a child. This is crazy. This is wild. Insane.
Very unfortunate. Where the fuck, dude? I really need. Oh my God. I need one more.
What was I supposed to do?
I need one more point in my breach cutter. To finish this quest, I better.
I mean, that was something that really got me.
I just didn't know you had them. So. Like this, I was about to give you your hammer financial score, and that was the end of the conversation. But a mysterious 40,000.
Oh fuck.
You can't do that. You have to be perfect. You have to be perfect. You can't leave the job. Right. You're going to be fully committed for a long time. Off the top of my head, I don't remember how many months and consistent payments it takes, and that's,
I think it's like 20.
Stupid. Oh my gosh! Over the course of everything, you have $109,000 in debt.
Jesus Christ!
You have $109,000 in debt right now.
Come on, dude! I got to get one more breach cutter, dude. This is crazy. I don't care about winning.
Public student loan forgiveness is a real and could be a good thing, but the rules always change administration to administration, so be wary of that.
Well, I don't think that that's an administration thing. I mean, like, we're talking about local election administration. Bro, are you fucking kidding me right now? That's more of like it's usually like a state fund. This, in my understanding, it's more of a state like student loan forgiveness, but you have to stay at the job for a certain number of years in order to get access to that.
Okay.
You got to be perfect on it. You cannot leave the job.
I'm definitely dedicated. It's something that I'm serious about. If it helps to offset my loan.
Maybe you should just work at McDonald's and you could steal their coffee.
Then I'm all in.
Why are those other two guys not in the picture, by the way? Speaking of dedication.
The oldest, he lives in Colorado and he is involved. She goes to see him sometimes. But when I was married to my first husband who was in the military, she was like 1. And he promised to adopt her during our marriage. Okay. Never did. I think it was something he held over my head. And then by the time when I was ready to leave, it was kind of like dropped her too. So her father willingly signed over his rights and everything to her so that.
Oh, that's, dude, are you fucking me in my anus? That kind of makes a little bit of sense why he might be a little absent, because if you're like, oh, sign over your rights, I mean, that's an emotional thing, you know what I mean? He might feel some type of way about that.
That the military father could adopt her.
Oh, you're kidding me.
And she would, feel more inclusive in the family.
Fucking
and
1 point.
Because she was only 3 months old when we met. And then he decided not to. So I was put in a position now where he cannot readopt his own daughter because of state laws and...
Jesus Christ! So he relinquished his rights. You let him relinquish rights. Damn, that's brutal. That's brutal. I feel bad for that guy. Kind of. I don't know. I don't know anything about it. Let's just.
The military ex-husband was like, "No, I'm not going to adopt her. She's not my kid. It's not my responsibility."
Okay.
So that's where I am with her.
Jesus.
My son's father, that was the sporadic payments. And then my youngest daughter, she's the one right now where we're trying to locate her father.
Oh my gosh.
And he does live in San Antonio, but he's dual citizenship, I believe, from Mexico. So he's really hard to find. But they are in the process of locating. So.
Sorry, what did I miss? What?
And he does live in San Antonio, but he's dual citizenship, I believe, from Mexico. So.
Dual citizenship.
It's really hard to find.
What does that mean? Dual citizenship or?
They are in the process of locating. So.
Okay.
We'll continue this conversation.
Did we take into account the welfare that she gets? Doesn't she get $300 a month in welfare? I think, which is not a lot, but it's still something to put into the financial thing, no?
Versus,
although if she gets another job, she's going to lose that. So, okay. Apparently, I muted it. I didn't even mean to.
And connect you with resources. This is all I can take right now. I'll be honest. This is a lot.
Okay.
But we will connect you with student loan things, and public student loan forgiveness information and all that. And we'll walk with you and hold your hand. Let's do your hammer financial score. Make sure to stick around for the post show where we.
All right. So if he didn't do that, that would be shitty. He's saying that he can help her. If he doesn't help her with that afterwards, that's an issue.
Where we connect these two lovebirds.
I think he likes older women. I'm not his type, so.
It sounds like she's not interested, and she's being very coy about it, but that's understandable.
You're older than him.
I am older than him.
Yeah, let's see if we can get a 6-1.
Oh, maybe she's saying.
On the way.
Okay. Jesus Christ.
Okay, spending in a
Caleb, come on.
spending in a budget. 3 out of, I'm losing my damn
I'm already
mind.
sweating under these lights. He's making it worse.
3 out of 10. No, 2 out of 10. That was really bad. No, I just went to the bathroom. I think his
nerves.
He's about to jack off.
They're shot.
Yeah. That, I mean,
you know, Caleb wanted to make a joke about how he's gonna go jack off in the bathroom because he was so fucking horny, that other guy, and he decided not to. So good catch on that, Caleb. Good job not being a fucking degenerate on that one, buddy.
Come on, 0 out of 10 collections. Emergency fund, nothing. Real estate, nothing. Retirement, nothing. Spending budget's the only thing that saved you, because at least, well, kind of, not really. Hammer financial score 0.5 out of 10. Make sure to check out all the resources linked in the description below, as they are what I use or would use in specific situations, including the best budgeting program in the history of the internet. Today on the Financial Audit Post Show.
I'm just as flabbergasted as you are. The process of it, I have never experienced anything like this.
Caleb, thoughts on kids? Are you going to procreate? You're going to have little Calebs running around?
If I find the one, and the one and I want to do that. To watch the
sounds like he doesn't necessarily want to. Is my main account? All right, I'm not following Caleb. I'll have to follow him. All right, listen. Here's what I want to say at the end of this one. Okay, he is definitely a coomer. Okay, I can empathize. Here's what I'm going to say. I feel like overall, it wasn't really that bad. He was definitely more condescending than I think he should have been. He was definitely more riled up than he should have been. I think part of it was the performance of what he does, and I understand it. But at the other hand, I think he went in a little too hard. In his defense, he knew about her entire financial situation, so he had more justifier to be worked up. We kind of gradually got introduced to things in a more orderly capacity. I think if he promised to help her out afterwards, and he seemed to have cut all contact. That's at least what she's claiming. So I can understand why she's frustrated there. I will say she should have watched an episode of she should have watched any episode of Caleb Hammer, any recent episode. All these are clickbaity titles. You know, all these have, you know, silly thumbnails. Like, she should have known that she was going to get, you know, she should have known that this was the tone. She mentioned that they asked her to do some stuff to flare things up. She should have look at this one. This one is literally a person crawling out of a graveyard. You knew what you were getting yourself into. This one says loser over his head. This one is him as an Asian guy. She should have known part of what to get into. I would just say, from Caleb's perspective, I would be a little nicer sometimes. That's all I would say. I don't think it's like this horrible travesty. Caleb should never respond to her or any of this criticism specifically or explicitly, because once he starts doing that, it's just going to turn into a communication that I will respond to criticism. Sometimes you don't need to respond to criticism. Her criticism wasn't so bad that he needs to respond to it in any capacity. I think he should make reasonable changes moving forward, but to respond to it, I don't think is what he should do at all. Just be a little bit better, okay? Be a little nicer. You know, don't look too hard to goof and goon onto people. You know, I'm not surprised she's single. This is rude, though. This one's, I would say, man, though, this one is a little fucked up. This one is fucking mean. I'm a little surprised she's single. Is fucking mean, brother. You could have said something better. You know, there could have been something a little bit better. That's what's just fucking mean. That was like the mean. That's just really mean. You know, that's like, this is why nobody loves you. That's communicated to me. It's fucked up. Like, clueless wife suffers financial infidelity. That doesn't sound too bad. Poverty from TikTok brain rot. That doesn't sound too bad. You know, fuck car salesman. He's a sleazy car salesman. I don't like car salesmen, so you can be as mean to him as you want. But I'm not surprised she's single. It's fucking rude, bro. So anyway, that's my Papa God advice. That's my emotional advice. Actually, maybe I will. Okay, listen. Somebody asked me, do you think that he should DM her and apologize to her because he was especially callous? All right, there's two answers to this question, and it depends on what your perspective is. I'm a content creator, so I lean towards more of a content creator perspective. It's a little inhumane sometimes, but here it is. From a human perspective, if he did promise to help her and he didn't satisfy that, and then he was mean, it would be a nice thing to do to reach out to her and say, like, hey, I am sorry. And if he did that, I don't think it would kill him or his career to apologize for it being a little callous. At the same time, you run a gamble when you acknowledge some criticism as a content creator, especially if it's not huge criticism, of opening yourself up for more. You know, these things can be delicate. So when you make a mistake like this, and I think Caleb made a little bit of a mistake, but nothing like life ending. If he acknowledges her and she decides to take that and release it publicly and put it on blast and turn it into this whole thing, and she got traction on that, that communicates now that everybody's like, oh, Caleb will apologize to stuff. And then it's like, well, how come Caleb's apologizing to her and not Zeke, who's like, I think he's a piece of shit, the Zeke guy. Well, how come he's not doing this? Well, why did he do this? And then all of a sudden more people come forward that feel slighted because these people are all being put into an embarrassing perspective. They know that going in. They should know that. I mean, look at this. But a lot of them still get butthurt about it. So now you're inviting more criticism and more. And a lot of people, especially very casual observers, let's say the people who don't really watch Caleb regularly, but they catch his clips on TikTok, they're going to go in there and they know they're going to be like, oh, Caleb's a bad guy. They don't have any level of intelligence or introspection behind it. They're not actual people. Like, they're people behind TikTok accounts, but they don't put their face or their name on it. So their opinions don't, like, there's no negative for having the wrong opinion about something or having an uninformed opinion. And so that could turn into a huge bubble burst. Okay. I am of the perspective that what he should do is just be a little nicer and set a better standard of to people, you know, in his audience, to be nicer in their criticisms. That's what I think he should do. And I think he should do that consistently. Still be mean when people deserve it, but, you know, try to have a better about your, like, barometer, I guess is the word for what you, when they do or don't deserve it. That's would be where I would go for there. So that's would be my advice for that.